You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a host of apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 563rd edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight, I've got Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
And also Jess. What's going on, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Greeps, everybody.
And tonight on the show, we will go over some gameplay right off the top, and Jess has prepared a game for us. I know we've been sort of shirking on our game responsibilities the last couple weeks, but that's just because we've been featuring Vault Talk. So we will get into episode 4 of the Vault Talk here later on of season 2 of the Fallout show. Also some Iguana bits after our game. So let's go ahead and roll right into it, see what everybody's getting up to. Say, hey, Jess, you have a chance to play video games this week?
I played a few games the last week or so. Not a ton, though, and not the one I'm supposed to. You know how that goes.
Oh.
But of all things, so I actually downloaded Spyro the Dragons. They announced a new Spyro coming out. And I think we've both been on a bit of a retro game kick again lately. We've been talking about it, playing them. So with the new Spyro announced, I downloaded the Spyro Reignited trilogy and started playing my old purple dragon buddy.
I think I remember those back on like Nintendo 64 or GameCube or something. Wasn't that a Nintendo title?
I played them on PlayStation first.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
That was one of those weird exclusives. All right.
Yeah, if anything, it was exclusive to PlayStation, I think, at the time. But I honestly don't remember if it came to Nintendo. One of the later ones might have been on both. But you play enough games, and you got to get a variety in for Game Pass for the month. And I needed to get an 8th Game Pass game, and I'm like, what am I going to play? So it just happened to be Spyro. And then after my 15 minutes were up, I kept playing, and it was a good time. Those old 3D style platformers, you know, they're fun. It's some of the earliest games that had exploration in them, really.
Yeah, that's great. So they make you play 15 minutes of 8 different games a month? Is that how
Yeah,
thing
so
works?
for the reward points, you get basically every day you play a game for at least 15 minutes, you get 20 points, but play 8 Game Pass games a month for more than 15 minutes. Can't be the same one over and over again. So that's why grinding 76 doesn't count. You get a lot of bonus points. So they've actually...
So you played your 15 minutes of Cyberpunk and now you're done?
I feel like I don't know what is wrong, Ray. I was so all in on Cyberpunk. Made a great character, and now it's been 3 weeks with not even touching it. Not even touching it.
It's wild.
And I know I needed an RPG to get its hooks in me. And I feel like Cyberpunk was the game, and it will. It's a commitment issue. I'm enjoying all these like shorter indie games and puzzle games and little games, and I'm just not.
I think it's just because she likes character creator the game.
Yeah, that was part of it. But no, it's also a change of priorities. But I also played some 76, a little bit. We got Fashnacht going on right now, so I had to get a couple marches in, of course. And this weekend right now, we've got Bratsnatch. So I know a few of our friends have been in there. Have you guys heard about Bratsnatch? Did I tell you guys about this?
No.
So they stuck a special event in the middle of Fashnacht this year where it's Bratsnatch. There's a new wiener mask. So you can get a regular wiener or a glowing wiener. And all the robots are wearing wiener masks. There we go. Someone's dropping their wiener in chat. And the mask. They're dropping their mask in chat. And you can get a good look at it. And all the robots are putting on the wiener masks all weekend. And instead of a common mask, every common mask you earn, you'll get a wiener mask instead. And then there's a chance for a rare glowing wiener. So there's 2.
I thought I saw one that looked like a bell pepper. Is that one, or is that a weird hot dog?
Yeah, it does kind of look like, no, it looks kind of like a red bell pepper, to be honest. Because it's really like half a hot dog with a little mustard cap on top that looks kind of like a stem.
Oh, that's supposed to be a hot dog. I was curious. I saw a picture flow through. I was like,
yeah.
What is going on here?
That's why you look at the sides. It looks like big old Ferengi ears, but really it's supposed to be the bun. See, it's a dog in a bun with a dollop of mustard as a hat. So it's dropping in place of common. So you may think, oh my God, so everybody's getting flooded with wiener masks. Like they're going to be sick of them after a day. And they might be. But remember with Fashnacht, if you do it successfully, uncommon masks are actually more common than common masks. So it's a bit of a misnomer, you know? When I read the stats, it said there was a 10% or 10 point something percent chance of getting a wiener mask, but I think it's probably more like 20 or 30% if it replaces the commons. But again, if all the robots live, the uncommon mask is the most likely to drop. So unless you lose a robot, you're probably not going to get a wiener every time.
So kill a robot, everybody.
Yeah, get out there. March all weekend.
Yep. Kill a robot, be a wiener.
Exactly. Everyone's a wiener this weekend. So good times. But that's 76 right now. Just the usual stuff. And then, besides that, I had some fun adventures. Last weekend, I went to an Oddities and Curiosities Expo downtown in Buffalo. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Is it like chicken embryos in a pickle jar?
So there is a little bit of that. So it is weird. There are some collectibles that are wet specimens. So you can get like snakes and stuff in jars and weird things like that. But a lot of it is more like taxidermy, but also just like odd collectibles and crafts. Cute, spooky stuff. Think of it like a bit of a gothy collectibles and curios and craft show with a...
So did you get a jackalope?
No, but I did write down a couple of places that make jackalope, so I might order one. But even though I went with my Brotherhood of Steel backpack, representing, of course, went down there, and I was able to put a few things in it, but I didn't want to get a whole jackalope in my bag and carry it
How on
around.
earth did you get that whole duffel bag down there?
Right?
No, she's got the e-bike.
It's funny, but so, I did the metro, and after the expo, that was great fun. And then I went to explore the waterfront, had a good time. It was a great day. But coming home, I actually stopped for groceries, and I totally felt like a scribe because I stuffed that bag full. I had a good 20, 30 pounds of groceries on my back. And I was like, oof, heavy. Yeah, it was a good time. So that was a fun thing to do last weekend. But besides that, not much in the way of gaming.
Very cool. How about you, Ray? Did you ever chance playing video games, sir?
Yeah. And it's been, since it's been 2 weeks, there's been a lot of Skyrim, a lot of Nova Field, and a lot of Genesis. And so I was getting a
Nova Field is a Starfield thing?
Yeah, it's a Starfield collection.
Right. Okay.
I started thinking last weekend that, a lot of repetition in what I'm doing. And so I needed to do something different. And so I hopped on to Steam and looked at what was on sale. And I didn't really want to just do a third person. I wanted to do something that I was, that was kind of out of my zone.
What is happening right now?
Well, we don't have a roundtable, so I needed something.
We're experimental phase. Exactly.
And so I was thinking about Witcher 3, but then I thought, it's just a third person. It's really not that different. Oh, look, there's a sale on Baldur's Gate.
No, you didn't, did you?
I did.
That's not even third person. That's like ISO, right?
Yeah, it's funky. It's been
like almost top down at an angle or something.
It's been quite different, and I've definitely struggled with the camera. And since, my only experience with D&D was Skyrim 10AD.
Right.
And so, of course, the first thing I did was make a monk, but there's no cat people, so I couldn't make the perfect Jaquai. But
I'd forgotten his name. That's right.
Yeah. And so I'm about 20 hours in at this point and still have no idea what I'm doing.
I mean, that game had a learning curve. Even for someone who plays the occasional isometric and old school D&D type game, that definitely had a learning curve because there's so much to it. But 20 hours, that is serious. So is the story pulling you in then?
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely a cool story. And I'm intrigued by the gameplay, although I totally suck at it. Which is kind of what's fun about it, because it's not something that I can just do with my eyes closed. And so my party has died a lot.
They do that.
But it was definitely elite, but I'm glad I did it. I've been having fun. And so now I'm totally committed to it.
Did you get like the 3-pack or whatever? Just get the first one. What'd you get?
No, I just got Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a recommended, Jess, to hop in the middle of the series like that?
Yes.
You got to start over. At
Very
1 or 2?
very strongly recommended. Now, don't get me wrong. Baldur's Gate 2, awesome game. Baldur's Gate 2, one of the best RPGs ever written. And Baldur's Gate 1, no slouch. I was replaying them last spring, as I recall, back when I, played games. But Baldur's Gate 3 is much more developed. Really deep story. It's got great graphics and cutscenes and characters. It's an awesome game.
Sweet. I know it's one of Will's favorites.
That's probably what kind of convinced you, right, Ray? The fact that Jen and Will and a few of our friends are talk about it so much?
Yeah, well, I knew that, they were excited about the game and that it was a really good game for what it was. But it was never anything that I really saw myself playing because it's just not the style of game I like to play. But I posted in the BBC ISSS chat that I had gotten something in my eye and I needed to go to the doctor. And Jen responded, "Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry." And then I posted a picture of the little eye worm. And she was busting up. So, yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, definitely.
See how long I can stick it out.
One of the things about Baldur's Gate is that it is a trap for people who really like to try different builds and roll more characters, too. So you're learning the game, you're going through, but it would not surprise me if by the end of Act 1 or early Act 2, you have to restart and try another build, knowing you. But we'll see.
Yeah. I could definitely see, well, I've already been tempted several times just because, it is such an intriguing way to put characters together. My biggest challenge at this point is just since I don't know anything about any of the different characters, because the monk is the only thing I've ever done in the little tiny bit of D&D that I've ever done. And so I don't know how to make a good paladin or a good cleric or a good wizard. And so when I'm leveling up the party characters, I'm like, oh, hell, I don't know. That sounds good. Let me do that.
Can you choose to let them level themselves? Like, is that an option that they just stick whatever class they are and they level themselves, or no?
Well, it could be, but I don't know what it is.
I was thinking it had auto leveling, but it may not have auto leveling. I honestly don't know.
You can just click accept, with whatever pops up. So, but yeah, it definitely took me a while just to figure out how to build my own character because there was stuff on the screen that I didn't know I was supposed to click. And when I finally did, it was like, oh, okay, now I understand.
Yeah. It's how we all played our first game of Skyrim with the name Prisoner.
Exactly. So, but yeah, definitely been having a lot of fun. Definitely into it. The graphics are great. Very cutscene heavy. So it doesn't rush the game. It doesn't feel rushed at all. So, and another thing that helps control the pace of the game is constantly dying.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Does that not get frustrating?
No, not really. Because whenever I die, it just means that I've got to try something new. And then if I try everything I can think of and I'm still dying, then I just go do something else on some other part of the map.
Have to level up more before you take that on again.
Yeah, I still really don't know how you level up.
Yeah, and it's
it just kind of happens every once in a while.
Games where there's so much you can possibly do that you can easily wander off and find something. Although you'll get in over your head before too long, for sure. There is a difficulty curve where it ramps up in a few areas by quite a bit. But that's how you learn, right? The monk is a more complicated class as well, at least in my experience.
Is it? I don't know. It's just
really? Less weapons, which should be easier, right?
But yeah, so that's been fun. But that's pretty much all of note. The only other thing I popped a note in the No Man's Sky Discord in our Discords, and this coming Sunday, August 9th, is the 10th anniversary for No Man's Sky.
Wow.
Wow.
And at 1800 UTC, which is 2 p.m. East Coast daylight time, there is a community event where we're trying to get as many people to log into No Man's Sky as possible at that time to send a 10th anniversary thank you, a massive, probably a server shutdown. If
Happy birthday. Here you go. Here's a big problem for you to solve.
yeah, crash your servers. But doesn't matter if you go in multiplayer or solo, just trying to get the biggest player count possible at that point in time for the 10th anniversary.
My idea of an event. Let's just boost that player concurrence. Sounds like fun.
All right. Very cool, you guys. The gameplay I got into this week, most was Fallout Shelter. Been playing a lot on the Xbox. I started a new character on Fallout 4 as well. Just left the vault and did a little tiny bit of running around, trying to explore more things I haven't concentrated on. But, I always end up falling back into my normal little thing. So, unsure what the plan is exactly with Fallout 4, but I just tried to load up on stats. I usually do not. And we'll see where that goes. Let's see, Fallout Shelter. Yeah, I just started a new vault a couple weeks ago, so it's still 3 floors, not a ton of stuff going on.
Like,
But,
people will be happy to hear you're back in it, for sure.
Yeah. It's poison to them. No, but I'm having a good time. I just doing the Fallout show and all the audio and stuff seems to have fulfilled a lot of my Fallout or gaming needs or whatever. I didn't play a ton of games this week. This might be our shortest ever.
We're just kind of coasting on show enjoyment. But so you said a character you don't
Ray's
usually
playing
play.
third person.
I mean, we are definitely out of our comfort zone. The different stuff. I did download another game called Dispatch. It came out last year. Really cool Telltale superhero game. It's fun. Yeah, it's Telltale style, but it's got some great actors in it. And it's basically you're a superhero whose super suit is out of commission. And so you're helping work on a team of kind of superhero rehabilitation where some heroes who are more gray area, quasi-villains becoming heroes or people trying to be better, and you're helping kind of coordinate the team. So you're essentially a dispatcher. You're a superhero dispatcher, assigning different characters to different situations. It's fun. It came out for PlayStation last fall and PC, but it just came out on Xbox this week. So yeah, recommend picking that up. I did pick that up.
What'd you say it was called?
Dispatch.
Dispatch.
Yep.
Cool.
Got some great actors in it, cool characters. I think I'm going to love it, but I only played a little bit. Hey, before we move on to a game, I also want to shout out, we had a couple new people join the Discord server this week. So shout out to my buddy Shades of Slay came over. You guys, Shades of Slay is a really great video essayist content creator about classic Bethesda games. He has a wonderful video that people might want to look up that I really recommend about several on Oblivion and about Terry Pratchett's involvement with the Oblivion story and how into it he got and how he helped create some NPC modded characters in it, and really neat. And then discussion of goblin culture. So shout out to him and all the friends joining in Discord.
Did you say discussion of goblin culture?
Yeah, so in Oblivion, not to go too deep down the hole, but there are actually, I believe, 4 separate goblin tribes. And they all have like their own styles and interactions, and they can actually meet and have battle with each other. Built in this kind of whole sociology to them that is it's not fully fleshed out in Oblivion, but a lot of it's there, and some of it, the code is there, but not implemented. So Terry Pratchett was kind of into that and wrote some stuff on it.
Well, all right, guys. Well, you think about shifting gears over to a game.
Sounds good. I have 2 games for you guys to choose from. So I've got one I prepared that's thematic for our season. We've got a Fallout TV show quiz, a little fun multiple choice on the first 4 episodes that we've watched so far. And over on Bethesda Net, they have a really, shall I say, cheesy quiz. I opened up the site, and I don't think we ever took this, but they put an official Bethesda quiz, what Fallout is right for you. So I thought maybe I could ask you guys questions and determine which Fallout game is correct for you.
All right. That sounds fun. All right.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do both of them,
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, hang
if you
on.
will.
What time is it? Game time!
Let's get into it.
Let's do it properly. God, it's been so long I forgot there was an intro. Okay, greetings, Vault Dweller. Are you ready to leave the safety of your home underground and your little basement PC room to leave your mark on the wasteland? Vault Tech is pleased to present this post-nuclear compatibility assessment. Answer the questions below and let our advanced algorithms match you with your perfect Fallout experience. Your results are guaranteed to ensure maximum wasteland enjoyment and survival. Okay, question 1. What is your ideal wasteland activity? Teaming up with friends to rebuild civilization and tackle threats. B. Exploring a vast world alone or with a trusted companion, building settlements and making decisions that shape the future. C. Immersing yourself in a branching narrative, taking sides in a struggle for power and making impactful choices. Or D. Managing an underground community and optimizing happiness and efficiency while sending brave explorers into the unknown. Ray?
C.
C for Ray. Okay. And Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, are we supposed to
Yeah, you want to game the
for
game?
what game we think that we're gaming the game?
It was totally not obvious.
Let's see. See, I really like the exploration with the companion thing. It's one of my favorite things. But like, if I want to go for shelter, I got to do the manager thing down below. But we'll say B, just because I like the grabbing all the companions and stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Question number 2. Which best describes your playstyle? Cooperative. Adventure is best shared. The bigger the party, the bigger the fun, the bigger the explosions. B. Strategic. Careful planning. Customizing and controlling your destiny. C. Role-playing. Living out a unique character story and changing the fate of the world. Or D. Managerial. You love balancing resources, growth, and happiness.
B.
B for Ray. Andrew?
Would have said A on that one, the cooperative one, probably.
Hey, next up, age required. Well, I'm not going to click that. So, question 3. What do you value most in your Fallout adventure? Dynamic world events, online camaraderie, and discovering secrets. B. Intricate narratives, memorable factions, and replayability where every choice matters. C. Deep customization, crafting, and the freedom to build your own version of the future. Or D. The satisfaction of a well-run vault and overcoming daily challenges. They really do make that one obvious.
Yeah. I'm B again.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm pretty tied between B and C there, so I don't know. We'll go C this time.
okay. Mixing it up. You guys are mixing it up quite a bit. This is interesting. Okay, you guys. Which phrase resonates with you more? Question 4. A happy vault is a thriving vault. B. What happens in Vegas changes everything. C. Home is where you rebuild it. Or D. The more, the merrier.
Again, I'm B.
I'd
Okay.
be D on this one, probably.
That's what happens in Vegas changes everything.
Me?
For me. No,
Yep.
you said D.
D as in dog, the
Oh, okay. Got it.
gathering settlers, basically. Or the shelter.
Yeah, the
whichever.
more the merrier. No, exactly. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Next up, how many questions are there on this quiz? Okay, we're almost done. Question 5. What kind of challenges excite you the most? Surviving unpredictable events. B. Perfecting your settlement's layout and defenses. C. Navigating moral dilemmas and choosing sides. Or D. Keeping your community happy and healthy under pressure.
A.
I'll probably do D on that one.
Okay, next up. Which environment do you prefer? A. The secure underground halls of a bustling vault. B. Desert landscapes filled with mysterious characters and lore. C. A sprawling, customizable wasteland with endless possibilities. Or D. Lush forests, murky bogs, and ruined cities.
B.
I like D on that one.
You guys have a good mix. Final question. This is going to determine your fate. Which Fallout is right for you? As determined by Vault Tech, who, as we know, is unfailable at least 10% of the time. How do you react to unexpected twists? A. Rally your team and adapt together. B. Rely on careful planning to overcome obstacles. C. Embrace the drama and make bold choices. Or D. Adjust your management strategy to maintain stability.
I'll go C.
Yeah, I'd probably say C on that one too.
Okay. Dun, 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 quiz results. Hold while we tally the answers.
Turns out we like all Fallout games. Gosh, guys, I think we like this series.
Yeah, this is a little bit unfair. So, Ray, as you may expect, you have Fallout New Vegas as your ideal Fallout game.
What?
They say, it sounds like you're looking for something a little more arid, in which case New Vegas might be calling your name. As a mysterious courier, you blah, 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 blah. Tune into season 2 on Amazon Prime. Okay. I love how it actually finishes your personality test with an advertisement. Perfectly well checked. And Andrew, you are actually tied. You have Fallout 4. You have Fallout 76. Fallout 4 and 76 are tied.
Shelter in there too at all?
Yeah, no, Shelter is in there and New Vegas is in there. But actually, now that I look at it, if you're an A there, that's 1, 2, 3. You might have gotten 76 just a touch higher than 4.
Yeah, I did definitely play a ton of it for a good long while there.
That's the more the merrier right there. Well, it could be companions and everybody following with you. Of course, they're using that for 76.
Yeah. They're moving for 76, but I took it as like that's what I always end up doing in every Fallout 4 playthrough is just getting all the settlements and beacons and more the merrier.
Everybody's best friend. It's always better with dog meat and others.
Cat meat.
Cat meat. Pug meat.
Pug meat. Yeah, that was great.
Okay. So now let's do a real game.
Oh, real game. Okay. Let's get serious.
Now that you and all of our listeners know which Fallout might be more right for them, as though it wasn't so clear. They didn't have Fallout 3 on the list. They didn't even include Fallout 3, like, or 1 or 2, or POS. Like, no.
There's only so many games you can include in a quiz. Come on.
Exactly. They need to stick with what's current, what's hip, what's happening, Daddy-O. Okay, this is Fallout Season 2 Trivia Quiz. I didn't come up with a good name, so we're going to call it that. Does that work for you guys?
That'll be great.
That's Fist Q for short. Fist Q. Let's go.
Little less great.
Okay. So in this one, they are multiple choice questions, so you may not need them. And if you want to buzz in with your name, I will then give you the point if you get it correct. And if you don't, I will not give you the point. Your opponent can steal. And hear the rest of the answers if you jump the gun. In episode 1, The Innovator, where do Lucy and the Ghoul first attempt their bounty hunting scheme against the Great Khans? Was it A, Ray?
Novak.
That is correct. Novak.
Yep.
Inside the Dinky the T-Rex statue where Lucy is hiding. Okay. Question 2. What hidden entrance do Lucy and the Ghoul find behind the marquee screen at the Starlight Drive-In Theater? A. The entrance to Vault 21. B. Underground tunnel to Vault 51. C. The blast door entrance to Vault 24. D. A secret Vault-Tec coffee lounge. Behind the movie theater screen at the Starlight Drive-In, which vault did they find? 21, 51, 24, or coffee?
I'll go with 21.
Okay.
I was thinking 21 would not be in the right location.
What do you think, Andrew?
I was going to say, I don't know what 24 is. I was just thinking maybe they were making up a new vault.
Is that your choice?
Yeah, sure. We'll say 24.
Andrew is correct with 24.
What is 24? Is that a real one? That's not a real...
The one we visited 2 episodes ago on the show. After Flea Soup,
yeah,
the one
but
they went in.
It's
Red
not,
Scorpions.
it's not in the games, though, is
So
what I'm saying.
it's
right?
in the
Is
game
it?
files, but we don't actually ever find it in game. So
Okay.
that's one of the things about it is that there are files for Vault 24 and they were going to add it, but they ran out of time when they were working on New Vegas. So,
Very cool. All right.
okay, next up.
21 is downtown, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
The
On the
strip, yeah.
strip. Okay. In episode 1, pre-war, Robert House conducts his mind control black box experiment on a construction worker named Bill. What specific H&H tool does House repeatedly compliment during their confrontation?
Ray, the nail gun.
A nail gun, right?
The H&H nail gun, that is correct.
Yeah. Good product. Fine product.
Your other choices would have been Power Drill, Back Rubber 3000, or the Jackhammer.
Back rubber. 3000. Most popular power tool with the ladies.
It's highly advanced. Highly advanced. Next question. What experiment was secretly being conducted on the residents of Vault 24? Were they testing a new flavor of Sunset Sarsaparilla? B.
Ray
Ray?
turning them into commies.
Yes!
Yeah, the communist vault.
Brainwashing Americans into communist sleeper agents using black box chips.
Good one. Good one.
Your other options would have been listening to Wayne Newton on repeat or cryogenically freezing junior executives. Well played, Ray.
All great options.
You guys are doing good. Anyone playing along at home, I hope you're doing good as well. Next up, we are moving on to episode 2. In the Golden Rule, at the Vault-Tec headquarters, what subject does Hank McClane use for his initial trials of the brain-computer interface? Is it
Say
A,
that again.
at Vault-Tec HQ, what subjects does Hank McClane use for his trials of the brain box? Is it A, lab rats, B,
Oh, I see.
feral ghouls, C, Mr. Handy, or D, sentient potted plant?
None of the above. They were mice.
They're mice, not rats.
They're okay. I'm sorry, I wrote rats. You guys are both. I'll give you both a point since I got that one wrong. Technically, they're not rats.
Little tiny. Little.
Are we sure they're not rats?
Yeah, with their little desk and their little computer.
They're so adorable.
Tiny keyboards.
Okay. In episode 3, The Profligate, former Squire Thaddeus runs a sarsaparilla bottle cap factory utilizing child labor. According to his motivational speech, how many hours a day are the children working?
22. Andrew.
Yes, Andrew is
22
correct.
hours a day.
22 hours a day.
12 hours in, 10 to go.
Poor kid.
I put 25 as your trick answer, but you didn't get a chance to
Nice.
trick you. Okay. In episode 4, The Demon in the Snow, that we'll be discussing later today. In the cold open flashback, where is Cooper Howard stationed in his power armor?
Andrew, that's up in Alaska. Operation Anchorage, I believe.
That is correct. The Alaskan Front. I would have also I would have accepted Anchorage and I would have accepted Alaska.
And that's is that a Fallout 3 thing?
Yes, that was in
DLC,
3
yep.
that we did the Operation Anchorage. Yep.
So they are combining New Vegas and 3 a lot then. Okay.
Next question. How does Stephanie Harper resolve her argument with Chet regarding the baby's name? What finally settles it? Does she A, file an official grievance with Bud Askin? B, stab a Bowie knife into her desk pointedly? C, challenges Chet to a duel in the vault cafeteria? Or
That'd be
D,
awesome.
bribes him with extra rations?
Don't you stab a knife in the desk?
Point to Andrew. That is correct. I know, Ray, I saw your eyes there too. You knew that one. Okay. Next up. How does Norm McClane react in Vault 31 when Bud Askins tries to force him into a cryo chamber or accept a lethal injection? His choice. Does he A, accept the injection and turn into crop fertilizer? B, hack the mainframe and order pizza to Vault 31? C, breaks Bud's robotic needle arm and wakens all the cryo sleepers? D, challenges Bud to a demolition derby?
Ray, see?
C is correct.
Wish it were all the above.
Right? Good time. I was picturing like demolition derby with like a remote control car against a Roomba. It'd be like BattleBots. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay. What location serves as the meeting grounds where Maximus is forced into a pit fight celebration during episode 2?
Area 51.
Area 51 is
Oh.
correct.
I forgot. I was just like, isn't that just a BOS hangar? No,
Yep.
Area 51.
It is the hangar at Area 51. Yeah, that's why I was giving a little pause in case you wanted to jump in and get it ahead. Okay, in episode 3, The Profligate, what business is Thaddeus running with his child labor force?
Did you tip this off just a little
I
bit?
did.
They were farming bottle caps from the sarsaparilla plant or something.
22 hours a day. You got it. Hey, next up. During a flashback in episode 3, where does Robert House confront Cooper Howard about his assassination plan? At the Vault-Tec headquarters, A. B. In a local diner over a bowl of soup. C. At a VFW awards banquet. D. At the Lucky 38 penthouse.
That'd be E at the VFW bathroom.
Yes, let's be specific. Not at the banquet. No, at the bathroom.
With his dick out.
Okay. Next question. Why does Maximus kill Paladin Xander Harkness in episode 3? Is it because Harkness took the last box of sugar bombs? B. Harkness intended to harm the child workers at the factory. C. Harkness challenged Elder Quintus for leadership. Or D. Harkness insulted the size of Maximus's super sledge.
B.
That's correct. Okay, so these last couple are kind of easy. But just having fun. Okay, this one's coming up for this episode we're about to talk about. What major revelation about Overseer Stephanie Harper does Chet discover in episode 4? She is secretly a synth from the Commonwealth.
Is Canadian.
Yes, she is Canadian. I'll let you guys just jump in and get it.
Yeah, Canadian, I think, right?
Yes, that is
Which
correct.
I was kind of puzzled. I'm like, so? We know those shifty Canadians. You always got to keep your eye on them.
I just tipped over my drink. It's okay. No big deal.
I know.
I'll mop it up in a second. Okay, last question. When Lucy and the ghoul finally arrive at the deserted streets of New Vegas in episode 4, what group of ghouls attacks them?
I say, honka burn of love, baby.
That is correct.
The what are they called? The Kings?
The Kings. The
They
Elvis
must be
impersonator
Kings,
King.
Right, the Kings,
You
right.
got it. Wonderful game. With a final score of 8-7, we have Andrew.
Good
Good job, you guys.
Quite a few of those. So.
Okay, I'm going to grab paper towels. I'll be right back.
Part of the rules.
Hopefully, it's not one of her Mountain Dews.
Mountain
It'd be a
don't.
sticky mess.
Well, that was goofy. All these years of podcasting.
You've never done that before? Come on.
No, it's probably only the second or third time, though, right? I don't remember the last time it happened. Good enough for me.
It's usually coffee for me. The cat will jump on the keyboard tray and knock over my cup of coffee.
Solio brings up a good point from our
Refill.
quiz. I didn't even look at her birth date. I just noticed she was Canadian. They were showing that she was old, not Canadian, right? Or both.
I mean, yeah, that she's 200 years old, 200 plus years old.
I didn't even notice that part. I just noticed the Canadian part, and I was like, oh, no. Canadians, watch out.
I mean, we're looking at what's important. They're both huge. You're right. It is definitely the fact that she's 200 plus years old and Canadian. It's definitely
I
the
just
two
didn't
together.
even notice the date. I'd never noticed the date. Thank you, Solior, for bringing that up, because now I really... Oh, that's what they were pointing out, really. Was that the games?
That
What
was the
was it?
games. That was it.
Over, man. Game over.
All right. Thank you for bringing games. We haven't played games in forever. That was great.
No.
It had been a little while. I'm like, we got to do a little something. I
Well,
thought,
considering we each played like 5 minutes worth of video games this week.
except for Ray.
Well,
Ray put 20 plus hours in an isometric game. I mean, what is
Right,
the
which
world?
is way out of the ballpark. Yeah, that's great.
yeah. You know, on top of another 15 or 20 hours in the other games too. So,
Genesis and
yeah, I put in my 40 hours every week.
now you just gotta get paid for that somehow. Be the best. All right, let's take a little switch over here. Check over some Iguana bits and see what we got in the news this week.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up. Why, thank you, Jess. Okay, so pulling up the community calendar. Let's see what's going on right now. It is currently, recording this October 7th. We are in the middle of a double score weekend. So you guys get out there, get double score. And of course, Bratsnatch. Get out there all weekend. You can get your hot dog masks, your wiener, glowing wieners.
Are those tradable by chance? Like, will I see those in vending machines if I pop on 2 years from now, or what if the game is still supported? By
I have to assume that both regular and glowing.
Okay.
People can confirm in chat, but I think people have been getting them and giving them out to friends too. So
Cool. Just didn't know if I had to rush to hurry up to get one this week.
yeah, they shouldn't be locked as atomic shop items since you can actually get them as a drop in game. As a rule, things that drop in games you can usually do, whereas things from the atomic shop, those aren't
right.
tradable. Perfect.
Very cool.
So that's what's happening on the calendar. Looking ahead after Fashnacht, and I know it just keeps coming. There's so much, but we're gonna have 2 weeks off, it looks like, and then Invaders from Beyond. The aliens are coming back. So
Get your disintegrators ready.
stuff to look forward to for people playing 76. I know a lot of our crew are either on scorecation or scoretirement currently. I'm not really close to either. I'm unofficially score tired because I am still playing some, but I'm only like level, maybe 16 on the scoreboard so far this season.
I'm officially score tired. That's great.
Unlike you guys who have officially logged your score retirement for now.
For now, I haven't written the game off or
No, of course
wasn't
not.
playing much,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I still own it. I haven't asked for a refund.
Somehow I think after 1,000 hours, they might turn you down, Ray. I'm sorry.
That's true. It could be.
So on the news front, stuff going on, there have been a couple little things published on the fallout.bethesda.net site. First, for new players, they did a guide to the events now. So for people who haven't played in a while, coming back, that's called a beginner, mid-level, and high-level guide to Fallout 76's events. And so they go down through and they explain essentially how events are set up now. Public events and mutated events, activities and seasonal events, infestations, which they consider, so those are what they consider low-level events that anyone can play. Mid-level events are like infestation, are what they consider a middle event, and bounty hunters. So if you're going out, you're getting a bounty, you're doing the head hunts and all that, they consider that a mid-level event. Really, to be fair, infestations are kind of like a reworked bounty hunt, but they spontaneously generate. So instead of having to go and get the bounty and start a head hunt like you do, that brings everybody there, infestations start on their own. But they're kind of similar in a lot of ways. And then for a high-level event, of course, they're talking about the raids and expeditions, though expeditions vary. They can be high-level, but to be fair, some of the expeditions you can easily run mid-level without an issue. Talking about the infestations, they are doing some balance adjustments. So you may recall that there was a complaint when infestations first started that they were not lasting long enough. The bosses were going down too quickly. So I mentioned that they said that they were aware, and John said they were going to buff them, and buff them they did. Well, since the buff,
They take too long.
a couple weeks ago, they went too far the other direction. Yeah. They have become bullet sponges. And a lot of people are running infestation before, no longer running them because it's not worth the ammo. You know how that goes. Like a bunch of mini Earls on the map. And nobody wants to unload their bullets into Earl for 10, 15 minutes.
No, they don't.
But they, of course, recognize that too. But it is kind of funny. The way they were set up at first was kind of just right. I feel like they were balanced and tuned properly at the beginning. The problem was because they were the new thing, they were the new hotness, everybody was jumping on them, trying to find them and overwhelming them. So they weren't built for that. They weren't built for the entire server to try to show up and make it. Whereas for a team or two doing them, they were just right. And now that people have slowed down because they're no longer the new hotness, there's not enough people to take them on. So yeah, the way they kind
a
of
predictable pattern of interest that people have in an event is like when it first starts, of course, there's one.
That's exactly it. Yeah, as Rando says in chat, people ruin them by complaining and being slow. Yeah, I said it. And Silly Yours says, I've been getting them done. I'm task oriented. I did 1 or 2 in the last week. Pretty tough, but not impossible. And yeah, that's where it's at. I mean, they're totally doable now. You just got to dedicate the time. So you can't set up and run a couple in a row. You have to be ready to commit and take the boss down. And because they do go longer, people might show up. But it's no longer something people look for. Whereas in the first couple weeks, people were opening the map specifically to see, are there any infestations? Let me jump on it if there are. But yeah, the robots are almost impossible. The Assaultron bosses, there are a bunch of different bosses and infestations. Right now, the current thing is we are decreasing box XP. With the change, we expect fights won't feel as sluggish for most players while still allowing the boss long enough to live long enough for more people to join. Coming this fall, they're going to add new objectives to infestations to make them a little bit more complicated. So you can have different ways they resolve, so not all the same. There can be a meta objective of clearing out all the enemies. So if you are going to last longer, go ahead, clear out all the enemies and not just take out the boss. Gives you something else to do. They'll have updated rewards, and they're going to add a smoke visual on the map. So instead of the green circle right now, it shows a little circle on the map where the infestation is. They're going to change it to make a little smoky area. It's going to be obscured.
Yeah, I mean, it really has to do with what is the reward worth it. You know, if it's one of their, like with the Fashnak mask, where the only good rewards come 1 in every 0.002% of the time, then the event's not worth it. But if you get good loot and there's not some, crazy, super random, you're either going to get crap or something good, then it makes it worth doing the events,
Yeah,
even
it's
if
a
it takes a
balance.
lot of bullets.
Exactly. If there's a good tier 4 something they're looking for, not just something generic, but something, if there's a list of items to work for too. That's like with stamps or other things where you've got to get a currency and there are multiple rewards you can get. Some people just need to get everything. So there's that. And then from the raid, there are actually some really solid rewards. So people will grind that and keep going through their ammo just to take on the challenge and have a chance of getting the good drops. So yeah, that would make a big difference. But that's pretty much it on news for the game currently, infestations, and the event guide. Let's see. On other Bethesda news, the Oblivion Switch 2 release is coming out. The Oblivion Remaster will be out on Switch 2 on August 11th. That will be next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Hopefully it plays well. You know, the Fallout 4 port on Switch 2 ran really well. The Skyrim was iffy, but runs good now. The Fallout 4 ran great from the start, pretty much. And so, fingers crossed, the Oblivion Remaster runs well on Switch 2.
Sorry, were you saying all of those releases were all the Switch 2 releases? Because Skyrim was on the Switch 1. Were you saying that it didn't run well there, or they ported it to the 2 as well
So
and didn't
they
run
ported,
well?
yes, when they ported Switch 2 Skyrim Anniversary to Switch 2 this past winter.
Skyrim 2,
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 7, 6?
Yes, 7.
Skyrim 3, is it Skyrim 3 yet? No, still Skyrim 2. Okay.
It's creative math. But yeah, when they ported Skyrim Anniversary Edition to Switch 2 back in December, there were some big issues. They resolved in a month or two.
Okay.
Fallout 4 ran well, and hopefully Oblivion Remaster does as well. One thing to note real quick. They did say that improvements and tweaks and optimizations that they're doing in order to get the Remaster to run well on Switch 2, they're going to look at backporting some of these fixes and bug fixes to the console and PC version 2 as options to help it be optimized and run better over there.
Very cool.
Further on in the news, let's see what else. So, Bethesda's 40th anniversary just happened. They kind of showed off a new temporary logo to celebrate, reminiscent of the old logo. You may have seen it floating around. It's that classic orange Bethesda Softworks logo. Looks really good. Celebrate. They are also, currently this weekend, we are having QuakeCon going on. Oh, I should mention too, that if you're a fan of Bethesda merch and gear, because they sure want you to be, they are definitely pushing the gear hard lately. You can get t-shirts and stuff with the new logo at the Bethesda Gear Shop. And this weekend is also QuakeCon. So it's the 30th anniversary of the game Quake, and they're celebrating that at QuakeCon 2026. Along with that, there is a new episode. So on the Quake game, there is a new episode released called Dawn of the Machine. It's available it's a free update in the 30th anniversary update for Quake owners. Features an all-new 19-map campaign with secrets, a whole story campaign, new soundtrack, all kinds of stuff to it. So if you're actually a Quake player, there is a whole new DLC for you, or episode as they call them. They're also live streaming Quake all weekend. So if you have Bethesda streamers that you like to watch, expect them to be doing some Quake for the event. And let's see, anything else? Mostly merch. They are doing a Quake board game in Q4 this year. I don't know much about it besides the fact that it's called Quake, the board game. Very creative name.
It's just going to be that pop-up game where you have all the different shapes in the pegboard, and then like it vibrates and then pops after 60 seconds. You got to put all the shapes back in. That's going to be Quake, the board game.
Slightly.
Or maybe it'll be from the 1970s super action movie. Towering Inferno, the board game. Something like that.
What a game. What a movie that was. But yeah, that is it for the QuakeCon news so far. There are a couple panels. They are doing a founders meeting where they're having the 4 founders of id meeting and discussing the early days of the game, and there'll be a number of things from that and all that, but that's happening all weekend. And of course, there's often other Bethesda news revealed there. I don't know that there will be this time. I feel like we've gotten a lot of news from them recently, as far as like current plans, future plans, all that, but we'll see. If there's anything else, we'll talk about it next week.
I had a couple of thoughts. Bouncing back to the Switch 2 discussion. Does Fallout 4 stutter downtown on the Switch 2?
So I haven't played it myself. I heard it was okay.
Cool. How did they remedy that and they still can't get that right on the fucking
it runs much better on console now. Like if you're not
I heard
running
it's
mods,
better, but
downtown is
I've
solid.
still seen people complain about that on that side of downtown. Anyway, and also, I had another thought about the TV show from episodes past. Who was Thaddeus working for at the bottle cap factory? Was he doing that for anyone? Did he, or he does not? I Googled it and it said that he did that himself. But to me, it doesn't seem like he has the organization or motivation to get a bunch of kids to recruit a bunch of missing children somehow.
I asked that last week myself. I don't,
Who's he doing this for?
I'm positive he's working for somebody else. They appointed him the foreman there.
Yeah.
Google says he's doing it himself. I do not agree.
Yeah, because he also didn't have the skills to reprogram the to be his security force.
Be his friends, right?
Right. How would he have them with a secure perimeter? How would he recruit all these kids in just a span of a month or two? You know?
No, Mr. House wouldn't give a fuck about you measly caps. He wouldn't care about that.
It's got to just be some local interest. You know what I mean? He's just the floor manager for some local interest. There is the possibility that he did it himself, but then that makes it even more irresponsible later this episode when he leaves them. And now it's just, okay, so you were working with the kids, now you just left them all there to fend for themselves? I mean,
he obviously doesn't give a fuck about them, so maybe it does work. I don't know.
That's what's so weird. So I do feel like there's more going on there. There's a number of times in the show where we don't get the background story and just have to fill it in.
Yeah. And he might have just promoted somebody to a manager. Then he'll come back later and pick up the caps.
There you go. Hey.
His cut.
Yep.
Leaving for now because
he had to. That, his condition turned him into a super brainiac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know.
Does that happen? Oh, Harold the tree, right? Didn't he get super smart or something with that?
No, but did Swan at first get smarter?
What has he got? Has he got both? Either? He's definitely a ghoul. But the doctor injected him with something. Was that?
So we don't know. We do not know what Thaddeus is.
Pattern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His face is thick around the edges.
He still has a nose.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
It seems to us that he is more likely, it's more like FEV related, and that he might be becoming like a centaur or something. Because as it goes on, we start to see the mouth in his neck, and we start to see some of these changes to him. We don't know what's happening to him.
Do centaurs have that self-healing aspect that they implied in season 1 at the radio station? Like when he got shot in the air in the neck, he pulled it out and it like fucking healed right in front of him, right?
So my thoughts on the quick healing that he had there at that moment was he had also just repaired his foot. Like shortly before.
Right. He just had medicine in him.
He was still under the effects of the initial dose, but I don't know. Because FEV creatures might heal a little faster, but we don't see that they can magically heal that fast. But neither do we see that with ghouls much either. It just doesn't phase them as much.
Would radiation heal FEV creatures or only ghouls?
Only ghouls, traditionally.
Only ghouls? Okay.
But
I wasn't sure if it like healed death claws and stuff like that.
To an extent, the show is making up some of their own rules a little bit. Like they're trying to play within the mythology, but we've got the weird ghouls, substance, drug to keep them from going feral. And we've got this healing a little bit more. Like, radiation heals ghouls, but to the extent that we see in the show, not usually.
You pull out an arrow and boop, closes up. Right. Okay, sorry. I just popped in my head a little while ago. All right, guys. Is it time? Do we switch modes? Were you still in the bits? We're still in the bits.
No, we are done with the bits. That pretty much wraps it up. Yeah. 40th anniversary, new logo. Check the gear shop, buy stuff. QuakeCon.
All right, sounds good. Well, I think let's go ahead and switch gears. Let's get our roundtable underway for this week, aka episode 4 of the Fallout show of season 2.
Hello and welcome back to Vault Talk, show from the Fallout feed where we discuss the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime. This episode, we will be discussing episode 4 of season 2, The Demon in the Snow. This episode was directed by Stephen Williams and written by Jane Espenson, Chaz Hawkins, and Chris Brady Denton. So multiple writers on this one. This is a different director than we had so far. The previous couple were Frederick E. O'Toy. And this is Jane Espenson's first episode this season. She is a classic and well-known sci-fi writer who's worked on myriad shows over the year. So let's get into it, this episode. Did you have any major thoughts or takeaways on this episode? What was your general feeling on
How about
this
the
one?
title? Is it referring to only this opening scene, or is that... Because usually they like to double dip their references, you know what I mean? So is there also a second meaning for devil in the snow that I'm not... Or demon in the snow that I'm not... Something later on that I'm not remembering?
I did take it as a bit of a double reference in a way. It's a reference, yes, of course, to the Deathclaw we're going to see in this opening scene, the actual demon in the snow, but also dealing with the demons of, say, drug addiction. As Lucy starts to have to deal with a new demon and drug addiction. And
yes, okay, now I totally see that, right. I knew there had to be something that I wasn't seeing.
At least that's my thought. And then also, I feel like Maximus is wrestling with his demons a lot this episode too. Everybody's kind of wrestling with demons, if that makes sense.
So many demons on the wasteland.
So let's jump into it then. First scene, we start out vertibird in the air and snowy weather. And it says the Alaskan front. We got another subtitle drop. I think they're doing this all season, Ray.
Have they done it every episode so far?
No, just the
last two, right?
3 and 4. And we only got 1 on this one.
Yeah, on the first episode, we had The Man Who Knew.
Right.
On episode 1, we had The Man Who Knew. And then last episode, you're right, we had Legion, NCR, and then this time, just the one. So it seems to be a new thing they're doing, but you're right, it's not regular.
It's so interesting to me to see that a TV show, which you would think would be a highly controlled environment, has so much variation within each episode based on who is the writer or producer or director of that specific episode. It's pretty crazy. I wouldn't imagine that they would allow title cards all the way through if they didn't do it every episode. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see just different presentation methods.
Yeah, there does seem to be some individual direction, but they do it for multiple, at least, even if it it definitely stood out to us more last episode, more than any other.
And I mean, it doesn't really make any sense to have multiple directors and writers if you don't allow for some variation in style and format.
That makes good sense. A writer's room is one thing, but when you have individual writers doing separate episodes as outside of a writer's room, and especially different directors, they're each going to have their own flair. So we start out at the Alaskan front with this episode. And after we get the title drop and the vertibird, we're coming in on someone walking in power armor, staggering a little bit, followed by another set. And it is Cooper Howard. And he talks to his friend, calls him Chuck, which I have to say, silly me. First time watching this, I didn't realize that was Charlie Whiteknife, his friend from the VFW and from previous episodes that was with him here.
Yeah, first time I did not realize that either, but this time I was like, oh, look.
Yeah, so Chuck is Charlie, and they are together in their squad, and they are looking for a third member. Essentially, they're out there looking for someone that they lost. They call him Raider 3, was his code symbol or code name, but they're having trouble finding him. Meanwhile, Charlie's armor is in a pretty damaged state. So they're ready to go back in. They haven't found him yet, and permission to return to base all the other men have. Permission is denied. Keep on looking. Mm-hmm. So Cooper, watching out for his friend Charlie, though. Charlie says, what did they say? And he says, they said you should go back. You're no good in that power armor. We got to get that looked at. And so Cooper's, of course, kind of taking one for the team, protecting his friend, worried about what's going to happen to him in his malfunctioning power armor, sending him back to base. Of course, Charlie's not hearing it until Cooper says, I'll be right behind you. So Charlie says, you better be.
Yeah,
of course.
Because Barb will kill me if you freeze to death.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where you can see once again that Charlie is a longtime friend, that they were in the army together. Maybe they only met each other through their squad. Maybe they only became friends there, but they know each other well.
It'd be pretty uncommon for someone to know someone growing up and then them to be stationed together in the army. That doesn't happen, right? I don't know.
Sometimes I think if people sign up together, they often in the past
okay.
end up in someone's squad. I don't know for sure, but in the old movies at least. They get recruited together. They go to basic together.
They're the basic together, right? I didn't know if they got stationed, shipped out to all the same locations and how that all works, your deployment.
Yeah, as the army gets more diverse and has more bases and locations, it's less common these days.
Yeah.
But we'd need someone with military background to let us know.
Yeah, frontline grunts. Yeah, not specialized in anything. They're just the cannon fodder.
Get no choice.
Go where you're told.
Front lines of wherever's needed.
Yep. So Charlie's going back to camp because that's where he was told. And Cooper's going to stay out there, keep looking. But he, of course, hears a roar and a sound he doesn't recognize. Shaking of metal, bit of sound of a creature or something. And he's looking and he's distracted by it. So some Chinese troops from the PLA get the drop on him coming over the edge. And he's taking fire. Gets hit a couple times by them. Pulls out his rifle and he's shooting back. So they're a small firefight, but he is off guard here. They manage to hit the power armor in one of those weak spots that we heard about before, that Cooper mentioned. To still have that weak spot in the chest.
Yep. Lots of good men.
Yeah, because this is T-45 and an early model while they're still testing. And so his suit locks up. He's like, no, and he falls to the ground and he's locked up but still alive in a malfunctioning tin can instead of power armor. We also
with
get
his face mask open.
Yep.
Yeah,
we also
no
get
protection.
that rapid beeping the whole time too, which of course is what you hear when your fusion core
is low or out.
So it's almost like wherever they hit or the damage that was taken caused the fusion core to rapidly drain. Is what I was thinking happened there.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of what the defect was. Okay, so it can just make your fusion core drain out and then lock up and freeze you up. Oh,
Exactly. That's what it seemed to be. Because that would make sense why it became immobile beyond the sparking and such.
What rank is Howard and Charlie?
I don't know that it's identified.
Do
here.
all soldiers get these tanks, these armored suits? Were there?
So
I think that was the thing in Anchorage.
Not necessarily everyone, but they were having squads testing them. And I don't know that we know what their ranks are, right? I feel like at one point Charlie's maybe identified as a corporal, but that might have been by the end.
That rang in my head too, so I wasn't sure if they said that somewhere. But now that you just said it, that makes me think, they probably did at some point.
So the Chinese soldiers are coming up after they've got him down, and she starts to almost not take pity on them, but recognize the situation. And so she's talking to her fellows as they're kind of joking about his suit, and she's saying, this is the future. It won't be long before our leaders want us to wear such things too. And
Death traps, basically.
Yep. When your commanding officer tells you to put on one of these, you'll say the same thing that he did. You have that clip, Andrew?
也会抵达这里，让我们穿上这些盔甲，鸟枪换炮。当我们的首长同志命令我们穿上这些装甲时，我们也会说出跟这个可怜蛋一样的话。Okie dokie.
I hope you guys all brushed up on your
Mandarin
or Cantonese, whichever that was.
So the literal translation was, the future is here. And when our commanding officers tell us to put these on, we'll say the exact same thing this poor guy did.
This poor
Okie
guy.
dokie.
Okie dokie.
I love it. But then...
How does she... I just thought, okay, how does she know okie dokie? I mean, come on.
You pick up a few words, probably a few words like that.
Yeah.
But, so it's also... Lucy says it because her dad said it. And her dad said it because he's from this time
From the
period.
40s or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a popular affirmative phrase in American culture at the time. And of course, they're making fun at the same time.
Yeah, it's like he's trapped. Okie dokie. Yep.
But it's funny because it's continuing the thread from last episode too, where they're trying to emphasize the whole, they're not that different from us.
Yeah, we're seeing it from both sides that each set of soldiers has empathy for the other side, whereas the leaders just might want to shove them into any scenario needed.
But speaking about the future, they suddenly get ambushed by what Cooper heard before, the growling, because as she's having this speech, he's seeing in the background this creature coming up and standing. And it's the Deathclaw coming closer and closer. And as they go and they're about to shoot him, the Deathclaw comes out and swipes at them and takes out the soldiers very quickly and bloodily.
What kind of gear were they wearing? Were they just in regular...
Just regular, fatigues
and helmet or whatever?
I'm pretty sure the winterized uniforms they were wearing were very similar to the ones they were in Operation Anchorage. They had that whole winterized
Oh,
People
that's
Liberations
fun.
Army outfits. I think they were the same
Good.
style.
I did not gather that reference, but I'm not surprised.
I think that's what they're called, right?
Love
Was it
doing that.
the People's Liberation Army? Is that what they called there?
Liberation Front? No, that's something else. That's from the movie
That's Life of Brian.
Life of Brian.
The People's Liberation Front. The Front for People's Liberation? Splitters.
Life of Brian, so great.
Deathclaw takes them out with prejudice.
Was this our very first sight of the Deathclaw in the whole
In
series?
the whole series. Yeah.
Outside of the skull during the credits at the end of last season. Yep.
I forgot they teased a skull.
Yeah, that was kind of the little last tease there to get people excited.
Yeah. And this is definitely the scariest iteration of Deathclaws yet.
That's interesting. I brought up later during the scene where they confront the Deathclaw, or where they see it in the town, about the design and stuff.
Yeah, it's a really neat hybrid design. So the design of the Deathclaw here that we get, I mean, it definitely harkens to the Fallout 4 Deathclaw and 76 Deathclaw, like the current, most recent design by Jonah Loeb that they have. But the snout is a little bit shorter, like because it's done with practical effects and makeup and an actual like Deathclaw suit and prosthetics. The snout and mouth is a little bit shorter. It's a little bit more feral looking almost, a little bit less alligator, a little bit more bitey.
You didn't just say they did this for prosthetics, did you?
Yeah, they do.
This is a real fucking person in a suit.
Yeah, that's his
awesome.
whole MO.
Yep.
As much practical effect as possible.
Yeah,
no CGI.
They did add, I think, some texture and lighting and stuff to them. But yeah, they were actually in there acting against these Deathclaw prosthetic creatures.
That's really awesome.
Crazy. So the Deathclaw sees Cooper still alive too and leans into him and looks at him, starts to make eye contact. But before he strikes, one of two things happen. I don't know if because this is, as a weapon here on the battlefield, they are a tool for the Americans. Like if he's somehow programmed to be able to recognize Americans or like the frequency of the power armor suit or something, and that stops him. Or like if he's got the classic control, because Deathclaws, they did have control devices. If he is partially controlled and stops him from attacking, or if he's simply distracted by something else and stomps off like he did.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a decision on his part not to attack Cooper.
Right, because Deathclaws are intelligent.
Could they hold political alliances? Like it knows that it was created by American scientists, therefore take it easy on the American army?
So I don't know that they liked the people they were working for. You know what I mean? They were created creations, but they were partially controlled and programmed. After eventually, so in Fallout 2, you do meet an intelligent Deathclaw, and you realize that some of them are intelligent and can even communicate. I think some can even talk. You meet Goris. Goris is the one who can talk, if I remember
No
correctly.
way. I'd
Yep.
never heard about that.
Yeah, that's later in Fallout 2, if you get there.
Let me play that. Been saying that for a decade.
I mean, you did get in there. You got in there, and you even fought a bunch of
I
Deathclaws
got
in
it
the valley.
started. I opened up the outside ring of the map.
So that wraps that scene, except the final call, actually. That's important to point out. So just shortly after the Deathclaw steps away, comes over the radio. Soldiers are retreating. You did it, boys. Congratulations, soldiers.
Yeah.
And that's where Cooper, in shock and shaking from seeing this creature, says, it wasn't us. It was something else.
Wasn't us. Yeah.
Something
Ugh.
else. He doesn't even know about it. And that's why I think the soldiers didn't even know about Deathclaws. Like, this is kind of the first confirmation that we have that we've actually ever seen a Deathclaw on the front, that they were already deployed and fighting.
I mean, granted, you'd be terrified to see one anyway, but he looked surprised, like he had never seen this thing before.
Yeah. I think they were only experimental at this point, because in the lore of the games, we knew they were working on them as a project, but they were testing, but we didn't know if they were actually ever testing in combat. I think this is the first time we actually saw that confirmed.
See, that's amazing. I didn't even take it at all that these could have been deployed Deathclaws out for strategically placed Deathclaws by the military. I just thought they stumbled across it in the forest or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was definitely on their side. I think they were illustrating, and that's why it didn't attack him, too.
I didn't gather that. Awesome.
Yeah, because Jackson's chameleons are definitely not indigenous to Alaska.
I would doubt it, right? With more like Costa Rica, if anything.
So next scene, we slip back to the Sunset Sarsaparilla factory. We've got dead Xander on the ground, and we are dealing with the aftermath of the factory. So they are in shock. We've got where we left off last time with Thaddeus and Max kind of trying to make small talk over a dead body. And Max says, I think I just started a war. So Thaddeus is absorbing this. And he's like, okay, well, got to get back to work. And we hear Vertibird coming in, and that kind of breaks the silence, breaks the situation where suddenly Max is like, oh no, I think they followed me. And so Thaddeus is, of course, ushering Maximus out of there.
Get out of here, dude.
Well, he's got a big bucket. He's dumping caps into it as fast as he can.
Here's the problem. Xander Harkness is dead. And Max needs someone to cover. Because if he doesn't want to start the war, they need to think Xander's still alive while Max figures out what's going on and how to stop it from proceeding. Also, if the Brotherhood landing here discovers the factory and the ghouls in it, many of them are going to want to do what Xander tried to do and kill off the ghouls that are living here. And Thaddeus, because Thaddeus is apparently turning into a ghoul or something.
Or something.
Some form of abomination.
Yes, definitely an abomination, whichever flavor.
They don't care.
So Max,
Any abomination will do.
Yeah, any flavor.
the power armor Max is in, conveniently, is not his own. Remember, he's wearing a spare set of power armor. So
Right. So he didn't recognize the bear slash, right?
Right. So that's also what Thaddeus recognized. But also it means that in this case, if Thaddeus puts on Maximus's power armor, this is actually a spare set of Xander's power armor. So it's fine. It looks like Commonwealth power armor. It's not Max's power armor. It won't give him away.
Yeah.
No, okay, I remember.
So he's in his civvies.
Yeah, he's in his clothes and making Thad wear the. Okay, cool.
So it's just kind of funny how that all worked out. I mean, obviously, good planning on the writer's part, but I liked it. It made sense. But of course, Thaddeus doesn't want to go back to the Brotherhood. He's escaped. He's also worried for his hide because he knows what's going to happen to him if the Brotherhood sees him.
Yeah.
He's a ghoul. He's going to be put down.
Quintus won't be a fan.
Same trying to do. He has a great quote. He says, I'm running away. I'm going to run away. I'm great at running away. I'm great. I love it. I like it. Start fresh. No big deal.
It's good.
Really good. But Max prevails on him. If they find you here and they find these kids, they're going to kill half these kids and enlist the rest. We can't have them coming in and investigating, seeing what happened. I need to have someone, playing Xander Harkness coming out there so they don't bust in. So, long story short, he convinces Thaddeus. Next scene, we see him outside meeting up with the knight who's there saying, Quintus is pissed. Taking off with that guy on a joyride.
And then you see the ever elegant. Oh, good lord! He couldn't fit out the doorway. It was so funny. Him he has an inner monologue that he's saying out loud as well, which doesn't help at all.
Yeah, that's such a funny scene.
It really is.
He keeps hitting his head.
Here, trying to play it cool. So Max trying to play it cool and have Xander come up behind him because, of course, the guy's like, where's Xander? And then you get him coming out and it's Thaddeus and he keeps hitting his head. It eventually scoots out sideways through the door. Great at the physical comedy. I mean, I'll admit, I winced. Because I'm like, come on. Thaddeus, he was actually a pretty good squire. Thaddeus was actually much better at Brotherhood stuff than Max. We learned kind of as a squire last season. But he's never worn power armor before, as far as we know. He hasn't actually trained with it and worn it.
Right.
Oh, right. I kind of assumed that everyone got trained, but no, you get assigned to it when you become a knight, right?
Yeah, they may have had a little training or opportunities to wear it, but not much. Kind of like Max had a day or two to figure that stuff out before. And he still had trouble operating it at first. He could only do so much. So it takes time. And Thaddeus isn't used to being that big. But yeah, that was a great thing. And so then he's getting on the vertibird, trying to be tough. Do you have that clip of Thaddeus trying to be Xander?
He was an emissary from the Commonwealth. If they find out he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. So, come on.
You wear the armor. Your name's Xander. You're from the Commonwealth.
Max, look at me, okay? The Brotherhood has a policy about people with wrinkly skin.
Look, if they come in here, they're gonna tear this place up, kill half these kids, and enlist the rest.
You're not wrong, but hear me out, okay? I'm great at running away. I'm great at it. I love it. I like it. Start fresh, no big deal.
Sometimes running away is the best thing you can do. Sometimes it's not.
The Elder Cleric's pissed you guys took off like that. You're in deep shit, Golden Boy.
Our vertibird broke down.
Whatever. Where's Xander Harkness? Here we go. Okay. One leg, two legs, one leg. What's
leg,
up,
two
big
leg,
boy?
one leg,
All
two
right,
legs.
let's get out of this shithole. Dust them up, spin them down.
Dust him up, spin him down, lock and load, bitches. He just throwing out whatever sort of
I
like
love it. He's like
cheap
big boy.
generic motivational comments he can think of. Like what would a confident person say right now?
Hilarious. Really well done. It is funny how his inner monologue, like he can't help but talk to himself a little bit, just kind of motivation. But everything he even mumbles comes out through the speaker.
I like him so much now. It almost makes me forget what a fucking dick he was in the beginning of the show. Like he was horrible to poor Max.
Just that first episode or two, but he was just trying to be one of the popular kids.
And I love him so
acting
much
out.
now. It's so great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad to have Thaddeus back together. They play off each other well. So next up, we see Lucy blinking awake, and we are at an NCR outpost location as she slowly wakes up, and she's feeling a little better. She's hooked to an IV, so she unattaches herself from that and starts to sit up. And they're all like, "Whoa, you're awake!" And so she is there back at the NCR camp with Captain Rodriguez and the Ranger and a few others, and of course the ghouls sitting and watching.
I, of course, was stupid and thinking, oh wow, that gave her a nice little saline drip. She's getting nice and rehydrated now, getting her electrolytes back. Oh, these people are nice.
I mean, that was part of it, but there's a little more in that IV drip than
More.
Aileen. Yeah. Yeah. So she mentioned she's feeling better. They say 2 days of a buff out drip will do that to you, or something like that.
Yeah, I think the ghoul brings that up.
So, but Lucy is waking up pretty quickly. And so she starts to get up and unhook herself and all that. And they're talking. The ghoul nods. And Captain Rodriguez, mentions your friend brought you in. And then she's like, well, think your friend. Like, because, again,
They don't like him. It becomes obvious.
they're on the fence. He's a gray area. They've worked in the past. He's done good things, but he also just said he wasn't going to help them. But then he also just brought a friend back to heal after blowing up a Legion camp. So
That's true.
he's in there. I think he's in their good graces again now, but he's difficult to read. Let's be real.
And it seems like they reluctantly accept him. And it's like they made some sort of
So what was it
Step up
your
your
character's relationship with the Brotherhood of Steel?
Yes.
I can't remember what it was. Something devil.
Yeah.
oh, right. Oh, because
Yeah, because you'd been helpful to him, but then you blew him up.
they're like, I don't remember. Yeah, you're right.
But those mixed reputations. Yeah, that's exactly right. He's got a mixed history. It's complicated. Facebook status. It's complicated. So they have a discussion while she's waking up. She kind of catches up with them. Who are you guys? This is the NCR. They start talking. She talks about how they were from Shady Sands. You know about Shady Sands, but of course, long gone. There's a discussion there. And the captain mentions first sign of civilization 100 years and some jackhole burned it down. And of course, referring to her dad there. So there's a whole conversation here. It's not a long scene, but they hit a lot of beats. NCR history, her dad, the question of, why are you here? What are you doing in the Mojave? I'm looking for someone. A lot of people looking for someone you love or someone you hate. Do you have that clip there, Andrew?
Yes, we do.
Well, the past is the past. Ain't that right?
We've met our fair share of people on the road from Los Angeles, and truth be told, most of them are touching awful. So meeting you guys has been a welcome change of pace.
Well, if you ever want to trade up the company you keep, the NCR always welcomes new recruits.
I would, but I'm looking for someone.
Someone you care about or someone you hate?
Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McClan?
Someone who hurt a lot of people.
What do you plan to do to them when you find them?
I'm gonna bring them to justice.
Well, that's what the New California Republic was meant to be about. Bringing justice to the wasteland. We almost did. Stock up if you like.
They seemed nice.
You think they'd be nice to you? They'd find out what your daddy did?
All I saw in there was more matching jackets.
Now, listening back to that clip, I think I understand something.
Yeah.
I thought that they disliked him, but she was saying all the folks I met out in the wasteland are poor character. And then the NCR said, well, if you want to step up your
Upgrade your company.
then you can do it. I thought they were talking about the ghoul because he Maybe they don't dislike him as much as I originally
No,
thought.
but you're right. It is kind of a joke at the ghoul's expense at that point there still, too. Like, the upgrade the company is like, if you get tired of traveling with this guy, you want to upgrade your company.
Well, I mean, he obviously brings them stuff that they need, and they give him whatever that juice is, however they have access to it.
They're simply trying to recruit her, like, you would. But there were a couple points in that I really liked. So I did like the question and how her answer, there's someone who hurt a lot of people, because she can't say she doesn't care about him, but that's not what she's focused on. Bringing justice. When they said creative supplies, well, we can't take all this with us. So, they are getting on the move again. They are, after this situation was resolved and the local legion were taken out somewhat, they are moving on, trying to reconnect with more troops. So you get that as something happening here. That after however long they've been stationed here, holding their own in the hills, they're finally moving on, which is good. Because that's one thing that I felt weird about this whole scene. When we first met them, when the ghoul came to find them, like, how long were they stationed out here? We know they haven't been back, obviously, to where Shady Sands was. They haven't met up with other troops that we know of in the last couple of years, at least. But it's been 16 years or 15 years since New Vegas. So,
do you think they've been out there for 16 years?
Or maybe it's simply since Camp Gulf shut down that they've been in the field separate.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't really say. But when they opened that creative supplies, did you catch the music again?
Oh, what was it?
That wasn't it the Fallout 4 theme song? Like, how we had the New Vegas wall before? Yeah, I feel like...
I did hear that this episode. That was when they opened the crate of weapons?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't notice any specific weapon design. What were our firearms included? Were there melee and stuff in there? What was in there?
It was rifles and shotguns.
Yeah, rifles and shotguns.
Of Fallout 4 design, New Vegas design? Like, were they... that were scavenged after the Legion had been defeated type stuff?
Well, no, because they didn't go back to that camp. You know what I mean? They hightailed out of there before things could get resolved.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but this was just more supplies that the NCR had here for guns. With.
So I looked it up. It was Soft-Hearted Devil.
Soft-Hearted Devil.
That's great, yeah.
You're not all bad, Andrew. Yeah,
and then, Veronica's worth saving.
Then the final comment there, where the ghoul kind of is essentially, without saying it, were you tempted? And suggesting they might not like you so much and knew what your daddy did.
Now, does that mean if you try to leave me, I'm going to tell them what the fuck your daddy did so you don't get to leave?
I don't think it was a threat.
I need you for my trip, and therefore you're my hostage here, kind of.
I didn't see it as a threat. I more felt that he was just poking a hole in her if she did have those delusions, not to go too far with them.
Because we're still doing the black-hatted hero with the ghoul here. Like, we still know he's a good guy, kinda, so I still feel there's going to be a huge fucking betrayal at some point that they're leading up to that is still going to be like him being a good guy somehow.
Yeah.
I can just feel them building the tension that these people are traveling together, but he is still dragging her where he needs her to be, even though she thinks she's going to see her daddy.
Yeah, it's like Lee says in chat, though. It does seem like the ghoul does like Lucy. We know there's more to it, that he does have an ulterior motive here, but I do think he's starting to like her, too. It's a combination. But she's also coming over to see things more his point of view. We get that more and more this episode. And the end there where she says more matching jackets. That's hearkening back to what he said before, too.
Yep. So you see that they're drifting towards each other at the same time,
Well, and, we'll soon learn why. He certainly likes her much better now.
Why she's so agreeable and happy and stuff right now. Yeah.
Yep.
That'll change in 2 days.
So speaking of agreeable and happy, we are over to Vault 33, where we've got a snack-based revolution, kind of little new group happening here.
The Incest Survivors snack group.
Yeah. They have been, so Reg's group is thriving. It's no longer just him and that lady who stuck around and the kissing cousins who took off. No, he's got a lot more people showing up right now because they are listening to music. They are eating food. They are drinking water. and trying to make up excuses for why they're there. Because really, let's be real, they're there to get water and eat.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my cousin and my uncle,
They might have been related, and that affected me because...
Oh, come on. In a close community like this, I mean, how many generations have lived in 33? But still, it's like, you got to be related to everybody eventually.
Exactly. But we quickly get the idea of what's really happening there because one woman's going for more water, and it's out. And she mentions they're out. No, don't worry. Reg is to the rescue.
Water.
He's grabbing us. He's all happy to be of help, and he grabs his jugs, and he's heading out into the hall.
I had to play it back a few times, but if you catch it in the background, there's a nice jugs, Reg, as he's walking down the hall with his jugs to go get more water.
Yeah, that made me laugh. He's also, here's the thing, if we're talking about in the scene in the hall. So when he first leaves, he's walking out, he's holding his jugs, and the girl who says, nice jugs, Reg, and walks by. If you keep watching, she actually gets to the end of the hall, and she hesitates and pauses there, and then she kind of turns and heads to the right out the hallway to leave. It was exactly, in my mind, like the animations for some characters in Fallout 3 and stuff like that, like the way they walk.
I mean,
pause,
they
turn.
pause and then turn.
Yep. And I don't know if it was intentional or just happened to be that it was filmed, but it really felt like she was deliberately trying to walk like a Vault NPC.
Oh, that's funny.
So he's going down and he takes his jugs down the stairs. Meanwhile, we're getting the perspective from the garden now, where the plants have a little bit of trouble growing. The water's getting a little low, and Betty is still figuring out what she's going to do to deal with the water chip situation. Meanwhile, Reg is carrying his jugs out and about to fill them up. And she's like, hey, where are you going with that? You want to play the clip?
Yeah, let's roll.
Young girls say reminder, water rationing remains in effect until further notice. Please limit showers, hand washing, and water consumption to a modest 1 liter per day.
1 liter a day.
Water rationing remains in effect until further notice.
Where are you going with that?
With what?
We can't be wasting resources on your little club right now.
You signed off on our food and beverage budget. And I'll have you know my little group is growing in numbers every week, unlike your approval rating.
Because I put austerity measures in place, and you're giving extra rations.
Or it's because the products of inbreeding community hasn't had a voice until now. We're a distinct subculture.
You're a snack club.
You're not taking this from me. Our snack budget is baked into the charter.
Baked into the charter. See what he did there? Snack club baked into the charter. Come on.
Really good wordplay. But I love she says you're a glorified snack club. He's trying to be like, we're doing something good here, blah, blah, blah. No.
The warning said they are allotted 1 liter for drinking and showering a day.
Yep.
That's not even enough to drink, let alone bathe in. Holy cow.
Yeah, no wonder they're thirsty, right? Serious water rationing. But Betty is obviously, even though we know at this point the story about Vault 31 and her past, this is still her community. You know what I mean? And we're going to hit that more in a scene in a little bit. But she cares about the vault. It's not just about the experiment or the grand plan or other things. She wants to make sure her people survive. This is her community. She's been around for 40 years. She was overseer before Hank for like 10 or 20 years.
It's too bad. It seems like her being the responsible one and making the tough decisions is going to get people to dislike her. And
isn't that often the case? Permissive dad getting the love, mom laying down the law.
Mean mom getting harassed.
Permissive grandparents being like, oh, when I'm over grandma's house, they always let me do this.
Cupcakes for breakfast, sure.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Ray, you can tell what side he's on.
Got to spoil them grandkids. Absolutely. Now we're back over to the ghoul and Lucy. And they're walking around in the heat. And Lucy's feeling a little twitchy, a little itchy.
How much time has passed?
It's probably been an hour or two, maybe 5.
Oh, that's it.
We don't know.
I was thinking days.
I mean, it might have been a day.
Hour or two.
Yeah.
No, because when they left the camp, I mean, you could see New Vegas right there.
Yeah. It's later the same day.
Oh.
A couple hours
Oh,
ago.
okay. I did not realize how quickly buff out withdrawal would smack.
Girl's been on a steady drip, as they say. So, yeah. So Lucy's like, what is up with me?
Yeah. Hungry for not food.
Hungry for not. I'm very familiar with that. Cravings.
I thought it was a good way to put it. And yeah, he's really familiar with that. And so he tells her how it is.
Here's the air extra itchy today and heavy. There's itchy and heavy. Ever feel like that and also like hungry for not food?
Yes, I'm very familiar with that feeling.
What thought you stopping for? Sorry. Gosh, why am I suddenly so grumpy? Am I dying?
Am I dying?
You ain't dying. You addicted to drugs.
What? No, Oh, not possible.
2 days on a steady drip of buff out to do that to his body.
Well, then I hereby quit drugs. There. What you got there? Oh, gosh, I didn't take him till addicted to drugs. What do I do?
Well, there's 2 schools of thought. One, you muscle your way through it. A lot of pain, vomiting. Can't do much, you just lay there and ride it out.
How long does that take?
4 or 5 days. My experience, the alternative is the only way to go.
What's the alternative?
Do more drugs.
Well, I know this isn't good for me, but stopping my dad from doing whatever he's doing is for the greater good. So even though I want it, I'm mostly doing it for other people. So it's what I'd want others to do for me. So give me the drugs.
Just doing drugs for the greater good.
The way she talks herself into it, the way she rationalizes it, it's great. I love her little self-righteous, perky attitude. Well, I hereby quit drugs.
Yeah. And then just how fast she's talking. And so, yeah.
It's a great scene between both of them because he's starting to chuckle to himself. Seeing her in this state, the way he speaks slowly, she speaks fast. I thought it was a really great scene between the two of them.
Great.
Now, he doesn't mention Fixer at this point, or things that could help remove addictions as a chemical too. But if he doesn't have them, he doesn't have them. So he's not going to offer a solution he doesn't have.
Yeah. Not likely something he'd be carrying around.
Nope. Not that it would work on him at this point anyway.
Might kill him.
Yeah, I do think it gets to a point where your body's dependent enough. But I love the way he kind of lays it out. We've got this one choice, really miserable, or you do more drugs. He's got the bottle of buff out ready to give to her as soon as she gives in too.
Yeah, he was shaking it in his hand.
But it's in the circumstances, the better choice. It makes sense. Her rationalization does make sense, of course.
So she had withdrawals from buff out. What did he have? He had like a little vial of pills or something. What did he have?
You mean that
he had the bottle of buff out pills?
Right. It was a bottle of buff out he pulled out for her.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout Universe chems. But I got to say, for this scene too, I don't mind them calling him drugs more than chems because it really just works for his character at this point.
Yeah.
Why do you think they made that conscious decision?
Just to use a word people were more familiar with, maybe. And also, I have to wonder, chems as such a common word may be more of a post-war deal in some ways. And since he's a pre-war ghoul, there could be some of that too.
I never even would have thought of that. That is great reasoning.
But more likely they screen tested it both ways and like drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Better than chems.
People know what drugs are. It sounds good.
Does he ever use the word chems? Do they ever use that, or do they solely use the term? I don't remember.
I can't think of any, but as far as I know, it's just been drugs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll pay attention to that now.
Yeah, I'm going to be listening for it too, for sure. Anything else on this scene that stood out to you guys?
No, I just thought it was great, her reasoning.
So then we got a quick little scene here. It's kind of a little tease for what's about to come. So we get the return to the Brotherhood of Steel airship because they don't want to leave Thaddeus and Max too long without going back to him. So they arrive on the ship. Max disembarks, and we see Dane coming down the steps. And Dane is still a little bit unhappy with how Maximus has been acting lately. We saw that previous episode that Dane just feels like Maximus has been drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much, getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah, definitely.
But also not really sure what's going on some choices and this whole taking off here. So Dane's like, Elder's looking for you. What were you thinking taking off like that with all tensions going on? Dane is judging here. Like, why would you do that? Because obviously Max didn't say a thing to Dane, just took off. So Dane probably feels out of the loop too. And Max quickly says what happened.
Yeah, he completely trusts her. He just lays it all out.
Yeah. He and Dane, they have that relationship for sure. Even if they're not seeing eye to eye as much right now. And once Max puts it out there, Dane says, okay, Quintus is going to kill you. And Max has a plan. And no, I'm going to kill him. He just lays it all out there. But here's what I need you to do. And so we don't actually see them hatch a plan and talk more here, but you can tell that they do. Between this scene and the next, Max tells Dane, I need you to round up the kids, take them someplace safe. Also, at this point, because we see Thaddeus getting out of the vertibird, still a little bit messy, still a little bit awkward.
Left, right, left, right.
Trying to crawl out
and
backwards.
I feel
He's stepping out like a 2-year-old, you're right.
I feel like Max had to tell Dane that it was Thaddeus at some point. If not this scene, then at some point. because later
Yeah,
on, they just
he
accept it.
definitely had to tell him that that part of it was because there's no way he would have believed that it was
Not for a
actually
second.
Harkness.
Well, that's like as soon as Dane sees Thaddeus, I think that's actually what prompts the question. Looking at the vertibird, what did you do? What did you do, Ray?
Knew immediately. She knew immediately.
Yeah, Dane's great. And of course, we're still getting Thaddeus' inner monologue. No big deal. Supposed to be here. You want to play that clip?
Yep, here we go.
The Elder Cleric's looking for you. Things were already pretty tense around here with that Xander guy showing up, and then you just what? Disappear with him? The hell, man?
It's a hunting trip.
Oh, can't see my feet. I got you. Okay, yeah.
What did you do?
I did the right thing, right? But now Xander's dead.
The Commonwealth are gonna kill us all.
Unless I can stop it.
How are you gonna do that, Max? Hey, when you tell Quintus that you killed the emissary to the Commonwealth, he'll slit your throat himself.
I have a plan for that. But first, I need you to get all the kids and take them somewhere safe.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Kill Quintus.
Hey, how's it going? I got. Oh, who put that there? Huh? Yeah, just kidding. All right, okay, here we go. No big deal. Supposed to be here.
Still supposed to be here.
Just what a way to frame it, right? It's so serious, but it's also so funny.
Yeah.
That's why that works so well. It's a high tension area with high comic relief. It's great.
But Max and Dane are a great team. Like, I know we talk about Max and Thaddeus, but I do think Max and Dane are great together too. So I wish we got more Dane, but we don't. Dane's just a side character again this season. A very key character, of course, but.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the slipperoo later.
So now we go back over to the Los Angeles ruins. Get a little music going on, and we get a couple people exploring, looking around, getting some food, crunching. They found some. They found some
Lamco
pasta.
mac and cheese.
What did they find? A vending machine or something?
I think it was a Mac and Blamco truck, wasn't it? That they were eating out of.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's funny. One of the dwellers, the Vault Tech employees there. I shouldn't call them dwellers necessarily, because did they really dwell? No, they just cryoed.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
They just vaulted and chilled. But they're like, the mouthfeel is excellent. It's a nice mouthfeel.
That brings up is Blamcone pre-prepared, so you wouldn't have to like cook it and mix in the.
No, they're eating it raw. Yeah, they're crunching the pasta
on the noodles raw. Ouch!
It's just like your craft dinner.
Kraft mac and cheese. It looks just like it. You know, the box and everything.
The fucking uncooked noodles. That's awesome. That's great. That makes that mouthfeel joke better.
But Norm sees Claudia kind of staring and looking, and comes up. What a day, huh? And Claudia says, last time.
Week.
Yeah, tough week. Right, because she's like, last time I saw that bridge, I drove over it a week ago. And she was coming for a Vault Tech job interview. This is when you realize, holy, Claudia has only worked, she's like, in this whole situation, she only worked for Vault Tech less than a week.
Yeah, been here a couple days.
Not even fully indoctrinated yet. And now sleeping for 200 plus years. Waking up, the whole world's destroyed. Yeah, definitely. What a week. So
glad I took that job. Kinda.
They're bonding and talking. And then we have this guy, Ronnie, comes up talking about, okay, we found food. So now we should be ready for phase 2. That phase 1, we had to find food, get our bearings. Now we're going to go to phase 2. Of course, Norm doesn't know any of this. Norm doesn't know what the plans were, what the phases were. He's not really part of the program, as we know.
Buzz probably didn't even know.
Right. So while most of them may not, Ronnie kind of acts like he did, because he was the guy who took the lunch orders. You want to play what Ronnie had to say?
It was the sandwich boy.
Must be a lot to take in.
I drove down across that bridge a week ago.
Where were you going?
A job interview at Vault Tech.
Pretty crazy week for you, I guess.
Hey, boss. Now that we found food, it's time for phase 2.
What is your name?
I'm Ronnie McCurtry.
I decided the next steps up here, Ronnie.
You're the boss. I know you call the shots. Just thought I'd introduce myself, as I was Bud's personal assistant. So I was the guy who took the lunch orders when Bud was meeting with the Vault investors, Future Enterprise Ventures, the whole plan for Vaults 32 and 33.
What do you know about that?
Like I said, I was just the guy who got the lunch orders, but I do know that phase 2 is very important to the experiment. It's time to get going, yeah?
Lead the way then, Ronnie.
All right, guys. Boston, it's time to move.
So that was well played. You get the whole thing there. So Ronnie, being Bud's personal assistant, is basically saying, I know more than maybe the others because of his position. Obviously, in the hierarchy, he was a little higher up. And he's hinting that he knows about what the actual plans are. So Future Enterprise Ventures. Do you remember that also? They did that on purpose to spark off a lot of conversation, right? Because that's actually FEV are the initials there.
Say that again. The FEV part? What was
So
that?
he says phase 2, Future Enterprise Ventures. That's FEV.
Future Enterprise. Okay. I didn't. Yeah. Nice.
So it just sparked off a lot of speculation. We don't know what phase 2 is yet, but it seems to involve the plans for Vault 32 and 33. So now suddenly we're putting together, wait a second. Is he talking about FEV? Is that why it's called Future Enterprise Ventures? And wait, they're breeding a race of super managers? What if they're getting all these Vault Tech trained people and they're going to make super mutant managers? I know it's ridiculous.
And their water
Vault Tech
supply
has some
is
ideas.
down, so they're going to make some adaptations to their water purification system and bring it back up and turn everyone into super mutants. That's
Who
awesome.
knows what could happen?
Holy cow.
Right? Like, but we don't know what the plan was, but it's hinting that there were further plans for Vault 32 and 33 we knew about. It wasn't just about getting them ready to go back to the surface. There's more to it.
Yeah. And we don't really know that Ronnie knows. He just
I think we know that
knows
he doesn't know. He just,
he just knew there was a phase 2.
He's pretending to know stuff to
Norm.
put himself up in the
And so is Norm.
Yeah.
There are so many intricate levels to the mid-management hierarchy there. Like, you got to slot yourself high up.
Politics are complicated, but Norm is smart. We know that he is clever, and he's also been raised in this group. And his father was part of this whole scene too, obviously. Hank being part of the original 31 crew. And so he actually kind of plays to Ronnie's need to assert himself and to being more of a boss by letting him take initiative, by saying, lead the way, Ronnie, by, pretending that he knows what's going on. But yes, Ronnie, good idea. And okay, let's do that. Okay, lead the way. And I feel like that's a good way to get him on his side. Now, is it going to last? That's the whole thing we'll find out. But
Doesn't feel like it.
I didn't really catch anything else from this scene.
Yeah, not really. They all just kind of pack up and go on. I was just going to go into Woody.
Yeah, let's go.
He's another one of the confused individuals that had to switch vaults.
Where did they go? They went to 32 from
33.
33.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he's trying to think it through in his head. But the funny thing is that for every decision he's making, he's answering himself with, right as a question. But he's like, right.
I should go left, right? Right.
Left, right. so he's wandering around and he walks into Davy's apartment. And
these are like my two favorite vaulties right here, face to face.
Davy knows immediately what happened.
Oh.
Because he's been going through the same thing. That's what he went to the overseer to complain about.
Yeah. I mean, Davy, yesterday, he walked in on the women's men's room.
What does that mean?
That was the most hilarious line.
What does that mean?
All he knows is that there's a men's room. That's what he's always used.
They're just their vault.
So
So it's the women's men's room that he went into.
The men's room.
The women's men's room. Oh, Davy.
We gotta love him. Gotta love him. They're up. Yeah, some of these Vault 32, Vault 33 folk who are now 32 folk are a little bit dopey. Let's be real. But in the best way. They're endearing.
So do you think they shed off the dopey ones on purpose?
They were raised to be Vault Tech true believers and a bit dopey like that. Yeah. They are, in a world of okie dokie vaulties, they are the okie dokiest.
Yeah. But I think if it was purely Betty's doing, she would have also gotten rid of Reg.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Woody, after he talks to Davy there, they leave, takes his leave, and he's still kind of lost and wandering. And we next go over to Steph and Betty. It cuts over to Steph and Betty talking. And they're in the intervault area now that we previously only saw supposedly a very rare thing during, the intervault trades. But Betty and Steph are having conversation. And Betty's there asking for help. Our watership situation is bad. We need some help with the water. And Steph isn't exactly hearing it. Like she is, but like, okay, what will you give me for that? It's not a given. And Betty says, when I gave you this overseer position, it was in the hopes that we would work together and help each other, maybe more than we helped each other in the past, in which you can tell Steph has always been, we know as we learn more and more about her, that she's a bit tough. You know what I mean? Possibly self-centered, the way she's been treating Chet and everything. Like, she is not who we thought she was at the beginning of last season. We're definitely seeing that more and more, and we will even more. And so now that we know more about her past, and Steph says, I will help you if you bring me a lockbox from Hank's quarters, that in the overseer's office of Hank's quarters, there's a safe or something. Bring me the lockbox in there, and I'll consider helping you with your water situation.
Quid pro quo.
Yeah. And meanwhile, and during the talk, Betty also mentions 31's been abandoned. So Betty actually went over to 31 to try to get some help and supplies and check on what was happening over there since Norm had been locked up, see how that progressed or whatever. Because we don't know if she might have just communicated with Bud via radio previously, or she might have checked previously and Bud said he had it under control. Anyway, she went over there. It's abandoned. Nobody in the cryotubes, as we know. Norm isn't there. And Bud Askins was upside down in a trash can. I would have liked to have heard more about what happened with him, though, too. Like, okay, he was upside down in a trash can, but is he upside down in a trash can dead? Is the brain dead? Did Norm kill him? Or was he just, like, stuffed in there but still alive? You know?
With little wheels wiggling, like, help me.
Yeah, like, we don't know what's happening there exactly. But also, you would think that she would be able to get the water chip. There would be spares. But in Vault 31...
it seems weird the Steph is withholding... It seems more like the water supply instead of the ability to help her fix her own production. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, you can dip out of ours instead of... It's not like, hey, we'll help you fix your thing. So she wants to have a situation where they're still dependent upon.
They have control.
Have something to hang over Betty.
And I mean, you would think that they'd be able to rig something up, make it work.
If this were like dependent upon the survival of society, would have added a couple extra water tips.
Yeah, the situation doesn't make a lot of sense. You would think that they'd be more prepared. Now, we are a couple hundred years in the future. So perhaps they have already gone through spares.
Maybe they went through the supply. You're right. They could have.
They may be at a point where they don't have more replacements. And we know that happened with other vaults, sure. But these vaults, they may not technically be control vaults. There might have been experiments with Buds and the triple vault situation and all that. But they were still trying to keep people happy and healthy. So you would expect them to have better backups. I totally agree.
How many people were awake and walking around in 31 in the cryo pods?
Maybe 20, you think, about 15 to 20 at this point? Like, it felt like there should have been more originally.
Yeah.
You know, you got probably 6 to 8 Vault 31 people who had been woken up over the years that we saw on that list. And there were probably another 15 to 20 there frozen that are out with Norm now.
Yeah. But I mean, even if it was only 20 people, you figure that's still 400 years worth of managers.
If you have to bring them out one or two at a time, yep.
And was that the only supply? There were no more rooms elsewhere. There were only 20
couldn't really tell.
Cryo pads.
Yeah, we couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell.
I think we were saying initially that we thought it looked like there were more cryo chambers first season. But this time, they can only have so many extras. But the experiment is over, and it's tough negotiations, and Steph is being hardline. Betty's asking for help. You can tell Betty has really come to care for her vault. These are her people. The experiment is over. All we've got left is each other. We need to work together and make this work. You get it. Like, Betty is smart. Steph is definitely looking out for number one and number one only. And we don't know her whole story yet, but we're definitely learning it.
Yeah. And one of the things that we had in the first season was Vault 32 had been completely wiped out.
Right.
So the crops had all died. Everybody was dead. So there's definitely been famine in these vaults before. So the fact that the water chip's broken now, not completely surprising. Alternatively, at least the same number of people lived all together in 33 could all live together in 32.
Exactly. Like, there are so many options. They're supposed to be working together.
Yeah.
They can make this work. All they've got is each other. Steph has got her little fiefdom, and she's now got her own plans and power.
Think Scavers would have gotten to 32?
I mean, they did before, briefly.
Yeah.
And whatever happened, they learned something about the experiment, about what was really happening with Vault 31. Somehow, we don't know how, they never get into that. And they fought each other, they turned on each other, and ultimately died.
I can go back and watch season 1 again.
Stuff was turned off, and they starved him out. So, as they're wrapping up, of course, we get back to Woody, who's been wandering around, and he's hearing their voices and catching the tail end of their conversation. The experiment is over, this and that, but then they're wrapping up. And so he hears the vault starting to close and stuff coming in. So he quickly runs around the corner and, tucks away so he's not caught. And that wraps up this scene. One quick note. Betty also says, when Betty says, you don't know how bad it can get. And Steph, we don't have her whole backstory yet, although we're about to get it in an episode or two. She says, yeah, Betty, you're from Solvang. What do you know about how bad it can get? So I looked it up.
Was that the town in the Christmas town in California where you can get the Abel Skeever pancake?
Yeah, that's the Danish Christmas town. Yeah.
Used to love going there as a kid. Pea soup to Anderson's. You go there and get a big bowl of pea soup.
Pea soup.
That's
wow.
cool. You've actually been there, knew what it was. I had to look it up. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a little miniature version of it here in Georgia too, called Helen. It's just a little German village type thing.
Oh man, I love shit like that. That's great.
Well, it's like Helvetia for Fastnacht, like those kind of cultural towns that start off in isolation and kind of keep the culture going in a very specific nationality.
Great place to get fudge.
Oh my goodness, Lucy's rubbing off of me. When I dropped a whole bottle of hot sauce earlier, I was telling the guys before the show, dropped a whole bottle of hot sauce. When I hit the ground, I actually yelled fudge pretty loud.
Oh, fudge.
That's as close as I get to swearing. I'm like, oh my goodness. That was
Most of the people we come across in the wasteland are fudging awful.
My mouth. Yeah. Fudging awful.
Speaking of Lucy.
Let's go. So we get her and the ghoul showing up outside of the Las Vegas Strip, like one of the main entrances to the Strip.
Yeah. And she is primed and ready to go.
She might as well be doing that jaw thing or like rubbing her gums or whatever, like she's on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So as they're walking up, the ghoul senses something's up and said that there's something off and they should go to Freeside and get more information.
She said we're expecting a welcoming committee?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tell the ghoul is really thrown off here.
Because no one's around. That's a ghost.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Even bust out a spyglass. They had a telescope. He had a telescope he was looking around with. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So when he's looking, he sees ghoul-looking Elvises and kings. And so he starts to go like, oh. He obviously recognizes the kings. And you can see it on his face. Something really happened.
He wants to go around to Freeside.
Yeah.
I thought the kings were in Freeside.
So here's the whole thing with the whole navigation. It's not exact. If they're at a gate to the Strip here, but in the game, the gates are either inside north or Freeside east. There's a direct entrance here, but there are others. And so he wants to hit Freeside.
Yeah, I think basically what the point they're trying to make here is that, we can see it. My dad is right there. And the ghoul's like, no, we need to go around another half day's delay. And she's unaccepting of that.
Right. And you can't blame her. They're this close to the Strip. But of course, the ghoul knows something is off.
And she's amped up.
And she's amped up.
Yeah, she's ready to go.
So she starts walking towards it. And the ghoul just kind of shrugs like, okay.
This new aggressive Lucy.
He's admiring the initiative. And
I imagined that he probably would have liked to have had that Lucy in Novak.
Who actually shot people instead. Let him hang there.
Probably like to have that Lucy a few times along the way, for sure. It's been happening for a while anyway, that they're kind of meeting in the middle, that he's mellowing a little bit, and she's learning the ways of the wasteland a little bit, but still holding on to herself. But yeah, here she's kind of getting over some inhibitions and just ready to take action. So as they start walking in towards the gates, of course, the ghouls that were there that we saw, they start rousting. And one of the kings kind of comes up and starts running for her. And so she has the shotgun that she's been carrying, and she uses it. And does she kneecap him? Does she hit him in the knee like she usually does to start here?
She blows his whole shin off, I think.
Yeah. And she's like, whoa. And she's suddenly kind of excited by this. She's like, powerful. And so then she shoots another, and then another. And as they start coming, she's really getting into it and fighting. Then, like the fourth one, I think it was, took her down to the ground a bit. She had to wrestle herself, but she grabs another pistol, shoots him in the head to get up. And then when her shotgun is out of ammo and he's loaded, she grabs the other rifle and shoots the other one right in the car. It was a pretty dramatic scene. This is where the ghoul gets to see what a good shot Lucy actually is, because we know she had a marksmanship trophy, that she's a good shot. She just doesn't usually use guns.
Also, she makes the comment, "Oh well, they're only ghouls," and you see his side eye comment there. You know, like his little acknowledgement of that statement that, "Oh, if I happen to turn, she will not hesitate to,
As long as she's on buff out.
pumped out on buff out." Yeah.
He flinches from it a little bit because obviously he's been treated poorly being a ghoul off and on in his life, I'm sure. But she learned to distinguish ferals, and seeing her acknowledge that, it's kind of a big step. But to have her do it so casually is a bit shocking.
Shit.
What? What? Sorry.
It's gonna be a little hard to explain. We're going through the east side of town, a place called Freeside. Good place to stock up on supplies. Only about a half day's detour.
No, my dad is right there. I am done with all of the sidetracks and the detours. I say we just run on through. Buzzing cares.
That's the drugs talking. Truth be told, I like what they're saying.
Got any cigarettes? Like to try one.
One addiction at a time.
I like that.
Yeah, that was great at the end. She just engaged in battle, took out all those ghouls. The last one, too. The last one that essentially looked like the king. Had the white jacket, the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there's the kings and there's the king.
Yep.
That was him, they're saying?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't him, it looked like him. So it probably was.
Where's Rex?
He's been ghoulified. Rex is out with the courier, or somewhere else.
Oh, you're right.
Rex is having puppies, right? With one of the dogs from back in Big MT.
Good call.
But yeah, so she's just like, she's full of herself. Now she wants a cigarette after that. She enjoyed it. Oh, now we're back to the Brotherhood of Steel. Max is going to be meeting up with Quintus. And then we've got what's happening with Thaddeus. And then we've got what Dane is doing with the kids.
We've got the Yosemite representative and the... Right. Okay. So...
Yeah, she comes up and tries to get a word with Xander.
Xander's like, "You are loved, emissary." She's the hump. Yeah.
And then the guy from Coronado comes over and he's like, "Hey, if
Essentially
you're making a
cornering.
deal, I want to make a deal."
Yeah, so they're cornering Thaddeus thinking that he is Xander. They want to make a deal with the emissary. They're pleading their case, too, because they've been caught red-handed. Like, this is only the next day still on that timeline. They were having the meeting, went outside, they took the joyride, Xander, blah, blah, blah. So this is within a day of Xander showing up. And so they're essentially saying, we weren't going to go with Quintus's plan. We weren't going to betray the Commonwealth, and we'll stand with you. I'll bring you his head if I need to. And of course, the other one's coming up too and saying, "Oh, trying to make a deal with you on the side. Don't listen to her. I'll take care of this." Very awkward, very funny. Then Dane is hiding the kids away. So Dane has ushered a bunch of squires, a couple of them young, one or two a little bit older, and saying, "Stay in here. Don't come out until the shooting stops," which reminded me a lot of what Max's father said to him when he put it in the fridge, too. Stay in there as long as you can. Don't come out until the shooting stops. Thought that was an interesting echo there. But
Did not catch that. That's a good call.
So Dane is doing that. And then, but the oldest of them, kind of looks like they're wondering what's going on. I don't know if they're going to show him again or if it was just a nice way to show things are serious and the kids realize things are serious. But meanwhile, things are getting a little bit tense. So then we have Dane, after they slip away, they're coming around the outside and they are going into the room with the cold fusion device. This is where I think maybe Max and Dane had a plan ahead of time that Dane was going to get the cold fusion device out. But then we go over to Max and Quintus in the room. Do you want to play your clips for this scene, Andrew?
As you're probably aware, there's an ideological gap between my chapter and Quintus. So even if you weren't here, I would have nothing to do with Quintus's little insurrection.
Oh, no, I bet.
What if you were to promise?
What are we talking here? She making deals? Coronado chapter can make deals too. Oh, yeah. Oh, I bet.
Coronado, you guys are...
We'll give you Quintus's head on a spike today. The guarantee is 300 fusion cores.
Yosemite chapter will do it, but not now. All we hope is that Elder Maxon will remember us better in the future.
See, that's what happens when you negotiate with the women. That's what Coronado doesn't even let them in their ranks. So you know you can trust us.
I'll stab you in your mouth and keep talking.
Look, I got 2 squadrons at the ready, and my guys came here to fight. I'd be ashamed to disappoint them. Just say the word.
You think we came here empty-handed? We're ready for war!
Wow, yeah, guys, okay.
I think I'm having a panic attack.
What the fuck's a panic attack? When you just...
When you can't breathe.
And your heart is running away from you, you're gonna die, kind of thing, panic attack. Sounds like a coronary. You just walk it off.
Let me at least get your visor up here.
No.
Let me get your visor.
No.
I love the "I'm going to stab you in the face" comment to that. These two scenes are kind of being interspliced. They keep bouncing back and forth between. So I kind of separated them out into the two interactions. So that was all of
That makes sense.
We got a head story there. Yeah.
Thaddeus gets more and more in over his head, and that's why she wants to help him with his visor. Because she's like, wait, this is not, there's something going on here. And same with Coronado coming over. But they're interrupted because got another clip with what's happening with Quintus.
Kill me, and the world will continue just as you see it. A world of anarchy, of horror. A world I would bring order to. Order, cruel and necessary, to rebuild civilization, to change this world. Kill me. That change will never come. Tell me, Maximus, tell me, what world will you build? When you lead, tell me, what will you do when your people are starving? I don't want that.
I love that last point. That he's just reacting to this environment, this world. Ugh. That's so heavy, that last line. That's
it's
so
such
great.
a thing for Max that he is operating from his moral center. He wasn't made to necessarily be a leader. He doesn't even want to be a leader per se. He just wants to be a good man and he wants to do what's right. But he also, these things keep happening in that he's making the decisions that he has to make when he comes up in these situations, like with Xander. And so when he makes that statement, Quintus suddenly realizes maybe there's more to this story than I realized. Maybe he's not just killing the paladin coming to kill me. And Max confesses he was going to kill some kids. And okay, so that takes Quintus back, because if he cares about anything, he does seem to care about kids at least somewhat.
Those are recruits.
Yeah, exactly. And he brought in Max as a kid too. But then Max has to admit they were ghouls. And this is when Quintus is like, nope, I've had enough. You are not the man I need you to be. First rule of the Codex, which, by the way, not the first rule of the Codex. Again, I don't think they talk about ghouls in the Codex. I do not think there is this anti-abomination hard line. That's an Enclave thing, not a Brotherhood thing. Brotherhood cares about it, especially in some chapters, but it's not like part of their foundation. Anyway.
Do you think as a supplementary, like sort of world-forming thing to refer to, that they have actually written a Brotherhood of Steel Codex somewhere in the writer's room, like it exists?
They've worked out some of what the Codex is for sure. But
I should put that out as a merchandise
thing. Well, the writers are changing it.
it.
This is me just ranting against inconsistency. Like, it's not in the Codex as far as I'm concerned, or as far as what's been in the games. But the writers have their own Codex. And the chapters may have rewritten things over time. We know that the Commonwealth is more hardcore against abominations. And the Brotherhood as a whole, like they do, that is part of their stance, but not to the extent. They're not as unreasonable and hardline as they're made out to be here. Or haven't been in the past, at least. Anyway, but this is where Quintus has had enough. Okay, at this point, he's less scared of Max killing him in this moment and just disgusted. Like, why did I even rescue you as a child? And so he's going and he's stalking away. He's going to grab his own gun. He's going to kill Max, and Max is still kind of paralyzed. He doesn't want to do what he feels he has to do. Like, he says these things keep happening. And now he's here with Quintus. And it's just kind of happening. But we also know that he decided ahead of time, talking to Dane, that he was maybe going to have to kill Quintus. So it's partly something he's choosing, but he also feels it was thrust on him because of the circumstance. If it's kill or be killed. I don't know.
Which is the same exact scenario which sent him on this whole journey back with the bear power armor back in the day. Like, am I going to help this guy who was like making fun of me, and take the chance of dying, or let the bear kill this guy and then assume his identity? It's
Titus
kind of
in this.
similar situation. Yeah, it's like choosing life or death. He has to do these things to live.
Yep, and Max had to leave Lucy and bring the head back because he had to help her. That was a choice that he definitely made, but also everything after just kind of happened. He's looking for a purpose and something to fight for, and who he wants to be. And he's thought for a while that the Brotherhood was going to be the way to help civilize the wasteland. But he's also seeing here more from Quintus's reaction that the Brotherhood's ideas of right and wrong and the Codex will never be fully compatible with Max's own personal beliefs, and the way he was raised in the NCR.
I wonder how Max was raised in an NCR. When did Quintus himself find? I forget where he, as a little kid, was recruited in somehow.
Well, we saw him being rescued out of the fridge 100 times, but we don't know that the guy there in the power armor, if that was like Quintus saying that was him in the power armor at that point before he became the elder. I don't think that was the case. I think Quintus is probably one of the guys in charge.
What just brought him back?
Right.
Okay.
Made the decision to bring him in. But Quintus is pushing the whole my son thing kind of hard. Whereas first season, we didn't get that.
Just start calling him my sword.
Right. That he was one of the leaders of this chapter, but he didn't know all the recruits that well. So I do think Quintus is playing it up more this season. He's been trying to manipulate him.
Well, yeah, because that was, the end of season 1. Quintus decided that he was going to be able to use Max to gain power for himself.
When Max has moved up from a recruit or an initiate to become a squire for Titus originally, it didn't seem like Quintus was that familiar with him. You know what I mean? Like he knew that they existed, but didn't really acknowledge them beyond that. It almost felt like Quintus and the others were showing up, whatever chapter they are again, too. I'm forgetting what they were called.
San Fernando.
Valley. San Fernando Valley. Yeah, exactly. Anywho, they're fighting, they're shooting, and back with Thaddeus in the cafeteria before they can raise the visor, the third leader comes rushing in. Which one of you took it? Because the cold fusion is missing. And so they start accusing each other, and they all start setting about and fighting each other because one of them stole the cold fusion.
It's Dane, right?
Yes, and it was actually Dane. So Thaddeus is making his escape casually while everybody's fighting. Oh, and the woman from the Yosemite chapter has a pretty sick move.
She just carries out her promise from earlier.
Yep. She said she was gonna. And doesn't the other guy say, that's cool? It was a funny comment that one of them said something like, oh, that's cool. Messed up.
Yes, bro.
Max runs out and he hasn't killed Quintus and he slams the door shut and he wraps the chains while Quintus is shouting, heretic, heretic, because Max wouldn't kill the kids. Dane comes around the corner and Dane says, did you care Quintus? And Max says, I couldn't do it. And he starts to apologize. And I like Dane's line there. Never apologize for not killing somebody, Max.
Yeah.
Dane recognizing the good in Max again still.
Yep.
So Dane gives Max the cold fusion device, says, get as far away from here as possible. And he starts to run, and with Thaddeus is also coming through. And this is where I'm like, Dane has to know that it's Thaddeus in there, too. At some point, they were told, or otherwise, they might question. But Max and Thad are running off. Dane is just making sure the kids are okay and gonna, keep watch there. And we see the airships starting to shoot each other and fight, and one is starting to go down in flames. And it's the whole Civil War.
Okay, I looked away for a second when I was taking notes and just saw one crashing, so I was kind of confused as to how an airship crashed. It was that this was the different factions were starting their four-way civil war.
Yeah,
Okay.
each of the chapters had something. And so they were fighting over the spoils of war and the cold fusion device, not knowing which one of them had stolen it and all that. Meanwhile, it's actually Max and Thad. So we are back to the vault now, Vault 32. Steph's Canadian secret. And Woody and Steph are having a meeting. So Chet's in the side room in their quarters with baby Chet Jr. And
he's doing laundry, folding socks,
doing chores. And Woody and Steph are having a meeting. And Woody is there because he's got to report a violation. And he's never had to do this before, but it's vault safety. According to the rule book, you can only go out into the intervault communication area during triennial trades. And he saw someone there. And of course, Steph is listening and encouraging. Okay, yes, no, of course, you can tell me. He's like, well, I saw you and talking to Betty in that area. And it's just hilarious, Woody telling on himself like this. You can tell he's obviously secretly amused. And he says, oh, good, because I've never had to report somebody to the person that actually did it. It was pretty funny. And he says, okay, well, good. So where do we go from here? And she says, well, I'll take it and I will escalate it. And isn't that great? And she's just kind of, put into bed, jolly shucks. Meanwhile, Chet.
I'll let you know what the report says.
Exactly. She'll let him know her findings. And he's like, okay. He's got to realize how ridiculous it is. But at the same time, it's following protocol. And all these vaulties, that's kind of how they do. They're following the rule book.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Chet comes across something while he's going through the drawers and accidentally kind of stumbles on a fake compartment and finds a wallet in there. And it turns out it's Steph's wallet, and there's a Canadian ID. Steph's face. Canada. 200 plus years old.
2 eyes.
So he discovers her secret. and this is major. And he grabs out the ID and tucks it away real quick as Woody's saying their goodbye. So as Woody's leaving, they're talking in the foyer, and Chet wants to come out like nothing's wrong and hide what he found, but he's obviously freaked out right now. And she's trying to usher Woody out a little bit. And so she goes and basically opens the door, just be like, hey, yeah, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Yep. And this is where Woody, I think, makes his fatal mistake, because Woody says, but also, what did you mean when you told Betty the experiment, letting on that he heard some of what they were talking about? And I think this is where he's sealing his fate, because she's not going to put up with that.
Nope.
But meanwhile, Chet's just kind of, trying to keep it cool.
Overseer stuff.
Yeah, overseer stuff. Perfect summary. So the final scene, we have the ghoul and Lucy. They've made it onto the strip from outside. So they just went through the door. Like from when we last saw them, they were on one side of the door. Now they're on the other. We finally get to see the inside of the strip. And it is dark. So they make it a little bit condensed from how it looks in game, of course, where it's a bit larger and over the course of 3 loading screens. They kind of make it so this is almost like the strip is more of a square.
It's a downtown square almost.
Exactly. Right? The different hotels and casinos all there on it. But you've got the Lucky 38. You've got the Gamora. You've got the things, but it's abandoned. And Lucy's like, oh, radiation, what's this? And the ghoul is not happy. He doesn't know what happened here. So he's trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, Lucy finds an egg. And she says, these must have been some big chickens.
How big the chickens get out here?
There's a quest in Fallout 2 called Kill the Chicken. And that's actually the name of the quest. And it's because they discover eggs. And this is where you first find Deathclaw eggs. And it's actually a Deathclaw at the end. Surprise, Deathclaw. Awesome. Yeah. You maybe actually did that quest when you played a little bit. But also, if you look at Lucy's Pip-Boy, at one point during the scene, she's got the icon for the Idiot Savant perk on it too. It's got the little looking kind of derpy. So she's doing that. And meanwhile...
Yeah, when they pan around, that's when you get the, hey, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. That's not where the Ultralux is.
Yeah, the whole thing is set up a little bit different. But it's a good set. Like, it looks good, it looks great, but it's a little bit small.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, they don't have 3 load screens to get through.
Split it up, right, exactly. So then they hear something as the ghoul realizes, wait, those aren't chicken eggs. And he's about to tell her, Lucy, we got to get. But before he can say we got to get, there's a movement coming out of the Gamora, right?
Yeah, she starts getting a little overinflated about their abilities to take on whatever.
Yeah.
Fierce beast shall show its face beyond the door.
Mm-hmm.
Dad! Hello?
Radiation.
Hey, look at this. How big did the chickens get out here? Huh?
Those aren't chickens.
Hilarious.
Whatever it is, I think we can take it. Oh, yeah. We got this. In fact, I think it'll be easy.
Okie dokie.
Easy like a Sunday morning, more like a Monday morning. Oh, my God.
I just like that the episode opens and closes with a Deathclaw okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I didn't even get that. But it's quite the moment. And of course, Cooper knows. We don't know if Cooper's ever seen them again since that one encounter too. Like that might have just been something in his nightmares. He's been a wastelander for years. So he's probably seen and maybe fought or run away from Deathclaws while well prepared in the past. But here in this situation, no.
If he had not battled them before, was well aware of their reputation and not wanting to entangle with them.
But I almost feel like for him, after his experience, they're kind of one of his primal fears. You know what I mean? Like some people have fear of spiders.
Yeah. I mean, he was literally locked inside and happened to survive somehow.
Yeah, perfectly justified fear of Deathclaws. So it was quite the ending. But the Deathclaw coming out, standing on its tip tops, stretching out, so strong that it breaks the bricks and doorway over its head without even barely shrugging. Like, it was a really good presentation. They look tough.
Yeah, they're gnarly.
I was kind of looking at the design of it and felt that it was a good combination of the new Vegas design, which is a lot. They look taller to me, and the 4 ones look a little muscular, more stout, rotund, and it looked like a sort of a good combination between those two. which made it look even like the door frame you were
More
saying.
wicked.
It
Yeah.
crushed the door frame out of its way. So it was even sort of gave even more presence than the ones in Fallout 4, which is kind of hard to do.
Yeah, I think of the 3 in New Vegas ones as being a little bit faster and leaner, whereas
right.
the 4 ones are more muscular. But yeah, so this was tall and lean, but still muscular.
You're right. It was a
As
good
ha-
combination of design, I think. And you're right, the snout thing. But you're saying that had to do with the cosmetics,
I think that's probably why they did it that way. Partly.
aesthetics, and
Yeah.
stuff. Huh.
Very Deathclaw Alpha. It's a great
Oh, I
ending.
didn't notice. Was it like albino or anything? Was it glowing? Was
No.
it a chameleon? Was
special.
it I don't remember the different difficulty levels of Deathclaw.
There are a bunch of them right there. Yeah, Chameleon Deathclaw, wicked rare. But that's perfect ending for the song to kick on. With he's a demon, he's a devil, he's a doll. Pulling out.
Love it. We're at the Camp McCarran, right? On the pullout? Whatever
Yep.
they call that.
Yeah, the pullback for the credit.
Zoom out.
Zoom out. And we're seeing a bunch of the old Camp McCarran with the NCR there. We've got gambling tables. It very much focuses on the actual New Vegas downtown for this there, where they're at the table, the soldiers. And I don't know if they're playing Caravan or poker, but it's set up there and NCR soldiers, and there are even Legion soldiers on swords after a battle as they pull out. And then we get further back on McCarran and it's revealed. And then they're listening to the song, which is a good one. You know, obviously the use of the word demon in there to pull it all together. Music this episode.
Oh, right. I didn't even put that together. Another nod.
Music this
Good one.
episode. We had a couple that weren't in the game. So we had Rum and Coca-Cola by the Andrews sisters early on. That's in the beginning when they're going to Vault 33 while Reg has the water bucket. We had a song Tweedledee by Laverne Baker. Yep. And that's while Woody's getting all turned around and lost in Vault 32.
That's great.
We had, during Lucy's fight there, Cocaine Blues, which is by someone
That
named Roy
was
Hogshead.
great.
That was a
was
great
cool.
song.
I think the Man in Black does that.
Cool. It was well done with the slow motion
Sonic
shootout.
Cat.
And then, of course, Demon Devil Doll for the end from Betty Hutton.
Good job pulling in that third demon reference. That works.
Yeah. I like how they kind of brought it in like they do. A couple of deep cut things here that we did kind of get the Deathclaw deployment pre-war. Like this is the first definite confirmation that they were deployed and tested pre-war on the Alaskan front during this here. We talked about the winterized People's Liberation Army uniforms pulled from Fallout 3. They're also Arthur Maxson being alive. So when negotiating in the mess hall, McCrae there, we don't know for sure that it's Arthur, but most likely. The elder there from the Assembly chapter mentions Elder Maxson. So he's probably still alive unless there's another Maxson in charge and had kids.
That
So
perked my ear up too.
some people say that it canonizes the Brotherhood or Minutemen ending of the game. That, you know, they're either alive because of the Minutemen ending or they're alive because Brotherhood won. But we also know that they're not canonizing any endings. They can help it.
Yeah.
Whatever, it does mean that the Railroad, if they did destroy the Brotherhood, Maxson survived. That's always possible too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Beyond that, there's a reference to the annexation of Canada, of course, with the Canadian ID. We're going to get into that a little bit further. Yep. And of course, the buff out bottle is exactly a buff out bottle in the game. That the label, like when you buy the props on Etsy, they print the labels from the game, look just like that. For all we know, they actually got that prop on Etsy. They didn't make it themselves. And yeah, and the ghouls, the growls and the ghoul sounds like that, I thought were just really authentic this episode too. I don't know if they necessarily took it from the sound files, but I feel like they might have.
I love it when they do that.
From the wiki, the physical Deathclaw puppet required a total of 5 people to operate.
Lord.
One inside the torso, 2 maneuvering the arms, 1 controlling the head and neck, and 1 moving the jaw.
That's pretty intense. Pretty intense movement.
And no robotics were involved. It was all puppeteering.
Yep.
Seems like it.
Wow.
There might have been servos in there. Like maybe they're puppeteering some mechanized things too.
Like
But
even
yeah.
the eyelids. I mean, someone had their hand up and doing the mouth open and eyes closing and all that. Wow.
I thought they handled the vault stuff better this episode too. I felt like when the vault was shown so far this season, it was kind of inconsequential up to that point. But now we've got some real like black comedy here with the situation with the snack club and like the absurdity of this whole thing. And they're having the party and drinking the water while the vault's literally dying and he's using the charter as the defense. I feel like they definitely amped up the vaulties again to where we need them to be interesting. And then everything with people in Vault 32 and how Steph's dealing with it.
Definitely have lots of plates in the air at this point, spinning.
Any other thoughts on this episode, you guys?
Another thumbs up. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think this was my favorite of the first 4 episodes. In some ways, the biggest homages, the biggest reveals, the whole twist with the Brotherhood Civil War, the reveal of the Deathclaw, actually seeing the strip and the Kings, although, man, it hurt to see them in that state.
Lucy on drugs.
Lucy on drugs was great. We all loved it.
It was
Good time.
so funny.
A lot of good characters. Hearing that in the clip, I totally forgot about that. I was so stressed by the Deathclaw noises. I missed bok, bok, bok. Well, good. That'll wrap this episode of Vault Talk then, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. And we're going to go back over to the regular Fallout feed show now.
All right, you guys. Anything else that you would like to bring up before we sign off for the evening?
I have a goal. I hereby solemnly swear to play more games this week.
More Cyberpunk?
I mean...
She's not committing to that.
I'm not committing because I don't want to lie. I will play more games this week. Hopefully, Cyberpunk.
All right.
Okay, chat's going to hold me to it. You guys, poke me.
Hold you to it.
Poke me. Tell me to get in there.
Go play games!
Well, I mean, they've been posting pictures. I think it was Solior that did a whole montage of stuff he was playing around with photo mode, which if the photo mode in this game can't get you, sucked in, what can?
True. It's absolutely true. Y'all doing your best. I appreciate you.
And then I've taken the completely hands off. I'm not even going to mention it.
Sometimes that works too. Yeah. Reverse psychology.
I'm just going to keep playing Baldur's Gate 3. Neener.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to hear more about what you think about Baldur's. And, where your characters grow, what level you get to.
Those are on Game Pass, right? All the Baldur's Gate games?
Cyberpunk is. I don't know if Baldur's Gate is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't either. I got it through Steam.
Yeah, I didn't assume you bought an Xbox to play it, Ray.
I've got an Xbox. It's laying on the floor in here.
Yeah, it's a paperweight to you.
It hasn't been fired up since the last time we did some group thing.
All right, let's get a group thing together, you guys. Let's do it.
I don't know. I don't
fire up that Xbox. He's got to get the crank in front of it and crank the front of the Xbox.
It's his Oblivion machine. That's it. That's what it does.
No, I can't play anything on it because I don't have Game Pass anymore.
Oh right.
And I didn't outright buy any games.
Not even 76.
Nope. It is a paperweight for sure.
Fallout Shelter is free. You can play that.
He hated it on his iPad. There's no way he's going to like a controller. Oh, that would drive him nuts. All right, you guys. Well, then I will take that note to say, hey, go check out these guys' other projects. Ray can be found at RayLB and at BBCISSH for the Butcher, Baker, Candlemaker in Space. And he also appears over there on the Skyrim Addict podcast, or a Skyrim Addict podcast.
When I actually remember that we're recording that day.
When Ray remembers, he must have spaced it.
So we were going to record this past Monday, and I remembered on Tuesday morning.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Did Victor make it?
Yeah. He and Michael were having a good laugh at my expense, and I guess decided not to record because we're supposed to record next week. So
yeah, you're integral.
I've been watching more Skyrim videos too. It's like, someone's itching at me to. My algorithm is telling me I need to play some Skyrim too. I think you guys.
Oh yeah.
But check out Ray. He's got the Butcher, Baker, Candlemaker in Space for any No Man's Sky stuff. Oh, it would be cool. If you give me the heads up, I'll try to just log on that day. I still have No Man's Sky. I'll log on for your anniversary event thing. Just give me a heads up. And Skyrim Addict podcast. Ray, thanks so much, sir.
Good times.
And Jess has many of her fantastic projects over there. Can all be found at Sleep is 4T. Jess, thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great week, y'all, and enjoy your Bratsnatch.
Bratsnatch. I can be found over here in the Discord and in the Facebook group, and the show is at the Fallout feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout feed. We will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrim-matic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.